or, you know, get them running if someone wanted to buy one. I said, yes, sir, I would. I would be glad to help out. So the motorcycles are also for sale. You could leave. You could come to Debate Con, come for the debates, but you could leave some brand new weaponry, a couple of bottles of Jack, and a new old motorcycle. You just don't. It just doesn't get any better. I'm just telling you. You know, like everybody else can say they're baller and badass, but dude, this is off the chain. And the dude is not going to cancel. Guaranteed 100%. There's no way the guy that owns this building is going to cancel. First, I think he really needs the money. Second, he brought up Charlie Kirk first. Now, speaking of motorcycles, the other day I'm going to drop this link real quick before I forget about it. We'll get some people up here on the panel. Go get your friends. Tell all of the geeks to come on. Let's go. Let's get some shiznit going. We need the geek. Bring on the nerds. All right? Bring them on. I'm posting it now. Now, remember, if I don't know you, you're going to have to cam up backstage before I even let you on the show. If I'm really not familiar with you, I may not let you up just because, you know, I don't really tempt the fate of toss very often. So, welcome. It is indeed Nerd Debate Night. It's Nerd Wars Round 3. Round 3. If I'm really not familiar with you, I may not let you up just because, you know, I don't. No, I'm telling you, this guy's just not going to cancel. But I'm speaking of motorcycles, though, I went out the other day on my way back from booking the venue, and I went in to look at this Ducati Scrambler that they had. It's just fucking beautiful. It's not a scratch on it. It's got 1,700 miles on it. It's 2022. It's a black edition, which means it doesn't mean it's all black. It's black and yellow. The exhaust is cooler. It's just a cooler all-around motorcycle. So I'm in there looking at that, and I start talking to the sales guy, and I start having this conversation, and we're talking bikes and what I like and what I'm looking for. And I'm like, you know, I'm just looking for something that has a little bit more upright riding position. That's, you know, that's nimble around town. And, you know, I don't need to get out on the highway anymore. I got a CBR. If I need to get to Nashville in 20 minutes, I got a CBR 600 F4, and that son of a bitch will go fast. I mean, real fast. And I got a Z1000, same deal. I just need something that's just nimble around town, feels light. And while I'm sitting there looking at this Ducati, they've got a Triumph Bonneville in there. And I'm like, holy shit, that's a damn nice bike. 14 months and all I got is a shout out. That's fun. This channel has taught me a lot and still learning. You and Glenn are down to earth, and that's what's awesome. Yeah, absolutely, man. I am down to earth. I don't know any other way to be, man. It's really funny. But so then I looked at a Triumph Trident. I looked at the couple of Bonnevilles, and then he showed me this new CBR Hornet, which is I believe it's a 650 or 600. It's like a CBR, but it's not. It's like a naked CBR, and that thing was sweet too. But then the dude, I mean, he had me, bro. He had me. Telling you, he's like, hey, you know what, I got something for you. I got you, bro. And I'm like, oh hell, here it comes. He came out with we walk over the other side to the Indian side. Now, I have never seriously looked at buying an Indian motorcycle. Now I would like a Buell I would like a Buell, like one of the new ones, or one of the Thunderbolts or a Firebolt or something like that. I would love a Buell. They're just really hard to find in good shape. They've been just ratted out. I mean, they're just horrible. All the ones around here anyway. And he takes me over to this FXR Carbon Edition. Oh my fucking God. That thing was beautiful. It had that like old school, you know, Bonneville, not quite cafe bike look, you know, upright riding position. But it had all the cool shit. It had the Öhlins fork. It has the dual front Brembo brakes. It has the full Öhlins suspension, man. I mean, the suspension was probably like $5,000. Touchscreen dash. All this shit, man. 1200 cc. Some water cooled. Something like 150 horsepower with a reflash. Right? Like it's like 120 stock. I'm like, God dang, man. Carbon fiber everywhere. Carbon fiber in red. I mean, it was beautiful. And it had a discounted $3,000, a little over $3,000. I think maybe 3,500. I could have bought the bike. Could have walked out of there $15,000, bro. $15,000. That's a lot of bike for $15,000, man. Brand new. Whew. I was sweating. I'm gonna be honest. I was sweating. All right, so we got the Raging Patriot 7076 comes back in swing with $5. The U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE, tip line is 1-866 DHS to ICE. 1-866-347-2423. You can also submit a tip online. Ice, baby. You might see the video footage of that chick in California. She's a councilwoman telling the police chief to not help ICE. Did anybody see that? It's the funniest fucking video. This is why we can't have nice things, folks. This is why. So, but anyway, man, I don't know, man. I've never considered an Indian motorcycle, but I might have to. It's just the temptation. Tyler, the temptation, my man.
I have sent out the invite.
You're muted, sir. Oh. You don't have your mic hooked up properly.
It should. What the fuck? It's on the right one. Yeah. It was on the right one. For some reason, I just have to turn it off and then turn it back on. I don't know.
Have you tried turning it on and back off again?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, tech support. As I was saying in the chat, lots of huge news today. We got a third Venezuelan ship blown out of the water by the Trump administration.
Yeah.
H-1B visas are now going to cost businesses $100,000 a year per visa. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see those go away unless they really need the person. 11 Democrats in New York City arrested for obstruction of justice or assault on police officers or federal officers. Things like that. It's been a busy fucking day, man.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the last few weeks have been really busy.
Yeah.
Kentucky TV says you can't use basic tech.
Oh,
that's a grenade right there.
He's right. He is right. He's probably more tech savvy than I am.
My bad. That's my bad. I forgot to pin the link. That's on me.
He's probably more tech savvy than I am because he has that red cap for his baldness that he has to use all the time. So he's probably really good at it.
Oh, wow. Well, you know you're MAGA too. You know that, right?
Me?
Yeah.
It's based on some people's definitions.
I mean, dude, bro. You're among friends here. You can just admit you're a MAGA.
I don't hate Trump. That's really all. I just don't hate the guy.
Like, you believe in making America great. Whether or not you think it's great again is kind of irrelevant.
That sounds pretty mega to me, Tyler.
I don't think
right. That's what I'm saying.
We've always been number one, and we've never diminished below that.
That's probably
okay.
True.
So I don't think you have to make it anything. We just have to preserve.
Kissing cat. Why are you sick? You were not supposed to be sick. Did you poison yourself again? My bro drinking straight out of the wine bottle. Just knock it back. That is crazy, man. What's up with you?
You only live once, Grid, okay?
You only live once.
It's fucking nerd debates, okay? I have to
It
be
is
fucking
nerd
loaded,
debates, yeah.
okay? I
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah, I don't drink, but I probably ought to after this shit. But
You ought to.
yeah,
Why isn't Pentuple up here?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know how to use technology.
Yeah, come on, Pentuple. Come on, Ryan. Which I can say now because it's his Twitter handle.
Oh, okay. Got a lot of Ryan going on.
I'm not.
If you guys have not seen the clip of Ryan, the two clips of Ryan on my clips or my shorts or whatever the fuck shorts channel, dude, it's crazy. You have a bad cold. It's like 80 degrees.
It's copium. That's copium.
Why would you have a cold? What did he say? Where's the cope coming from? Cam the King lives a life. I'm driving from Texas to Florida to sail to the Polynesian Islands in 2 days. I'm going to take my 1900. Hopefully my balls aren't bruised from a near. Oh, he's talking about his motorcycle. I'm going to take his 1900. Hopefully his balls aren't too. It's nearly a day ride. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun, bro. Mikey Ball says, "Mama said Ryan's are the devil." That's funny. I don't know. I don't know if we got any debaters. We got shit talkers, that's for sure. What did you think of the debate last night, my man Tyler?
There was one line.
Was it even a debate? Was it even?
There was one line I wish I hammered down on more, that when it's a right-wing shooter, all we hear about is great replacement theory and how Trump's inspiring the shooters by alluding this and Tucker Carlson's inspiring them. And then when it's a left-wing shooter, it's literally quoting trans rhetoric and calling him a fascist. I just don't know how he got radicalized. I just don't get it. But we all need to move past it. We all need to do better. So I that shit is so fucking annoying. But that was the whole basis of my argument. I just wish I would have hammered down a little bit harder on it. But it seemed like we kind of got a little off topic a couple times. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think we walked away from that with a clear W.
Well, I mean, it was weird because, Wick tried to do the Wick thing where he just wants to talk about Trump. But he ended up putting himself in a corner and looking like a deranged person. And it was funny when Ryan called him out on it, and then I called him out on it. And it was funny. It was great. A Wickocript. Oh, that's funny. A Wickocript.
The part where he's like, Trump's the president right now, so we don't need to talk about anybody else. We don't need to talk about the policy, the soft on crime policies that let that guy that stabbed.
But he was talking about how because in some article some news reporter said something that's the way it was, and I'm like, you're assigning malice where there's no malice. Like, you don't know why ABC fired Jimmy Kimmel. Although now ABC is being very clear, the reason they fired Kimmel is because he's not fucking funny, and he's not bringing the ratings, and his edginess is no longer edgy. It's just poor taste. They've been pretty fucking clear about it. Now, if the FCC did lean on them, which you can read that and read it in a couple of different ways, which Wick will only accept his interpretation ever. Like, if you say, no, Wick, this can be read a couple of different ways, and you're choosing this way, he'll just deny that shit. But the reality is that he was assigning malice to what the FCC said. The FCC said, get this shit under control, or you're going to find out why there's an FCC. I'm paraphrasing. And they said, yeah, you know what? We don't like this guy anyway. Fuck that guy. He's gone. Now, was there actually malice behind what the FCC said? I don't know. Do you know? Anyone?
Nope. It's all speculation. No
action. And then to say that Trump's the one that went to the FCC and said, you better get rid of Kimmel. is insanity.
Yep.
That's not how any of this shit works.
And then
Trump can say shit like, I wanna get rid of this guy. I don't like that guy. And yeah, there's going to be 10 people that start digging into the guy to see, you know, if he's got some skeletons in his closet or whatever. But yeah.
And only people just go, oh, well, there's a merger coming up between the second Nexstar and Tegna, or something. I don't know how to say those exactly. There's a merger coming up the FCC has to approve, so that's why they did it. But they were the second broadcasting group to do it, and they were the ones that did it after the podcast came out. Sinclair, the first one, did it before the podcast came out with nothing. The Trump administration had nothing on them. They just did it because they thought the comments were gross, as they said.
I mean, it's got to be. It's just got to be so. You have to reach so fucking hard to come to these conclusions. You have to like assign malice where there's no evidence of malice. You have to read between lines that don't even fucking exist. I mean, I'm basically saying you have to make shit up. And that's what Wick was doing, and he got called on it like 2 or 3 times. And the thing is that I figured it out. Wick and Ryan are friends, so Wick doesn't want to go hard at Ryan, I guess. And because I think Wick sees Ryan as his ticket. Maybe he sees him as his ticket to bigger and better things now that Destiny is self-destructing.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't want to. I fell asleep during your guys' debate, so like.
I would too if I could have.
Correct me if I'm retreading old lines, but like, if you have a public broadcast license, you're beholden to the FCC. Because I've had people debate me today saying like, oh, well, why hasn't Charlie Kirk wasn't censored? He's not beholden to a public broadcasting license.
Sure.
The FCC has laws. This is like literally written into law of what you can and cannot say. You're on a public channel news network, and like so it's just entirely different.
Which was all right. And remember, the FCC was assigned to control the TV, right? They were assigned that because prior to that, they just dealt with radio. They dealt with ham radio operators, and they dealt with Citizens Band issuing license. They literally didn't do jack shit. And then all of a sudden, TV happens, and what happened, instead of creating a new television, agency, and instead of creating an agency just to deal with TV and movies, they just rolled it into the FCC. And I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't, because the FCC doesn't give a shit.
Well, they don't. And if people want to say the FCC shouldn't exist, that it's too old timey, I can at least deal with that perspective. But the people that are saying like, oh, the FCC, there's some like First Amendment violation by taking Kimmel off the air. Kimmel is beholden to the FCC. That's just how the country's set up. If you don't like that,
there's no freedom of speech.
So
that's a solid point. There is no freedom of speech. George Carlin made that pretty fucking clear. The 10 words you can't use in radio.
Exactly.
Right? You may remember that bit.
Yep.
If you don't, look it up. It's fucking hilarious. But
Yeah, well,
there's no such thing as a First Amendment protection when you're dealing with the FCC, because you're acting under a license that's granted to you to address the public.
Right, it's a privilege. It's not a right, and no one seems to understand that. No one knows how the country fucking works, which is like so frustrating. Talking to the left.
I was a Howard Stern fan, an Opie and Anthony fan growing up, and the FCC used to harass them for making jokes that were a little out of vogue and not quite so PC. Racial statements, jokes about women, religion, things like that. And they go after them. The FCC, I like the FCC. I want major networks that kids can watch that don't have boobs, swearing, racism, hoaxes being pushed on them. The FCC should have a handful of networks, and the rest can opt out, or they can go for the semi-regulation with cable. HBO has their own model. They completely opted out of the FCC, and they were successful. There's a way to do it and do it well, but shots were just fired 20 minutes ago at ABC affiliate in Sacramento. No motive or shooter yet.
It's going to be a peaceful Democrat. Ladies and gentlemen, calling all nerds, please report to the video. We need nerds. We need people who are going to argue and debate. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have some good shit tonight, and it's going to be awesome. Pentuple, I can't believe you're still out there in chat slinging barbs.
He just came, his comeback stream was today, but yeah, you're right. The shots fired at ABC were mostly peaceful. So,
well, Emmett, you're excused, sir. By the way, Emmett's in the house. Everyone thank Emmett profusely for the massive undertaking that he has done and how successful he's been in the clip stream. It's awesome.
Round of applause. Also, Emmett, thank you for all the easy debate wins.
But also, Emmett joined the stream. Okay, you said
Wait,
you debated tonight.
he's got editing with it. He's got editing.
Oh,
he's got editing.
Yeah, Penn's right. The
He
Sacramento
can make
shooter
time.
was
He
probably
can
right
make
wing.
time.
It must have been a right winger,
Yeah. So
right?
we
You
have-
got, hold on. In Sacramento, are you in? Wait, are you guys been? Have you both been drinking tonight?
No, I'm just being sarcastic. We have a theory. Pat and I are starting a podcast next week, but we have a theory that every violent act is a right winger.
Hey, it's our man Cassell. What's up, man? It's been a minute.
What's up?
What's up, man? We're gonna nerd out tonight. Just hang on. We gotta get like, I don't know, a bunch more people up here.
Yeah,
Go
all
get
good.
the nerds. You know them all. Everyone in my chat knows at least one or two nerds. Guaranteed, 100%.
I was telling Tyler, I'm like so bad at these topics, but I thought it would at least be like more casual, so I didn't mind joining.
It's gonna be a
but
lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Cassell. I feel like I look like a nerd, but I feel like I have not the knowledge to back it up. Okay, I don't.
Yeah. I've heard the combos happening
That guy-
before, and they know a lot more than I do.
That guy last week, what was his name? Not Hedgehog. It was something else. What was it?
Was it Icon?
No. Your buddy. You brought him over.
I brought these two. I brought like
Yeah.
5 people last week.
What-
I was
what-
Icon
what?
Rich, the old dude with the beard.
I cannot think of that guy's name last week. But anyway, he has a channel. He does poker nights on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Oh, fucking horseradish.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, horseradish. Yeah, so that guy, he was funny as fuck, and he needs to come back because he was awesome. I don't know where he is. He needs to be in here. That's what's up.
I like him, even though he's a libertarian.
Yeah, libertarians are just people who aren't trying hard enough to be conservative. So
Mostly.
yeah,
Mm,
Castle, he's still a liberal.
So, yeah, I still am. I haven't changed yet. Sorry.
Not yet.
Ooh.
Not yet.
Not yet. Getting closer though, isn't it?
It's funny though, like I talked to my fiance about like this group of people who I debate with, and they're like more right wing than anybody else, and she's like, "How did you even find this?" And I was like, "That's a good question." But Tyler is really the one who introduced me. But it is kind of funny how like this whole group of people are way more right wing than usual in my group. But it's a fun group, so I like joining this sometimes.
We're not that right wing.
Well, like on the spectrum of, I guess
Maybe on your spectrum. Okay, I could see.
yeah,
it,
like
you know.
relative. That's true. I guess you could be way more right wing. That is true. But yeah, relative to my circle, usually, yeah.
Cassell,
Yeah.
maybe we can find something in common. I'm like center right, so I feel like I'm. Usually
He claims to be
fucking-
center right. He's just plain center. He leans
No,
right
I'm
when it's
not.
convenient.
No, no! How dare you?
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm going to start
sure-
some shit tonight. I'm going to promise you right now. I've had a great recovery week. I'm going to get to play some golf next week. I was mad earlier this week because I couldn't play golf, and I couldn't do it. This weekend should be sweet. Tomorrow, I don't really have anything to do. Sunday, I'm shooting a match. I'm like super excited for it, and can't wait to go just destroy hopes and dreams. And so I'm going to shoot a 3-gun match on Sunday. Monday, they've got a bunch of high school tournaments going on in my area, so I can't play golf Monday, but I'm definitely playing Tuesday. So
Nice.
yeah,
What's your
hell yeah,
handicap
man.
grid?
What's that?
What's your handicap?
Oh, I haven't played in years. Like I'm
you're
just getting
just-
back into it.
Oh, okay.
I'm very inconsistent, right?
Oh yeah, I feel like golf is like the most inconsistent sport on the planet.
Golf is like
Fucking
super easy if you
insane.
can just be consistent. If you can do
Yeah.
the same shot every time,
Oh,
if you can just
100%.
if you can just be and so that's actually something I'm actually pretty good at is doing the same fucking thing every fucking time. And I used to do pretty well, right? Like I didn't shoot par, I'd shoot par every once in a while, but well, maybe more than one. But I was never like really an under par guy. I wasn't shooting, like if it was 72, I would shoot 78 or 80, right? Like
I'm par
That's
on
pretty
maybe
good.
one of every like 6 holes, I'd say. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking
but that's
rich
when I was
kid.
doing it all the
I'm
time.
double bogey. Okay, that's
Yeah. That's when I was doing it like pretty close to all the time. And then it got to where I just wasn't, I couldn't do it anymore. And then I hadn't touched golf clubs, man. And like probably at best, I haven't touched golf clubs in 5 years, 6 years. And so I went to the driving range and I was like, yeah, I can do this again. Part of that was because I hurt myself, right? And I screwed up my knee and hip. And shockingly, your knee and hip are pretty important in golf.
shockingly.
I mean, I don't know that you did, it's not just sitting there whacking around with you're not doing that shit. But so I couldn't play there for a couple of years and I just got out of it. So I went, did some driving range, putting stuff. And then I went and bought so I'm just one of these really reserved people. You guys are going to fucking laugh at me. But like I went out and I bought a used set of Callaway Big Berthas because I'm not going to go spend $1,000 on clubs right now because I don't know if I'm going to like it again. I'm excited about it, but I could get out there and just never be able to really operate at the level I want to work at. Now I'm not going to go spend a ton of money on new clubs and new equipment and everything to just go do it. So I bought a used set of clubs from Dick's has a really great exchange program. And so I went and bought a used set of clubs, got a new bag, got everything all set up, and now I'm ready to go.
Wait,
So
Grant, how did you fuck your knee and hip? Is this known lore or is this like something?
Oh yeah. So I one of the things, the matches that I shoot tend to be very physical. And there's there used to be a series of matches called Hard as Hell. And it literally was. Like, your goal was to finish. Not to win, not to place, just to finish.
Are we talking about golf still or?
No, guns.
Oh, okay.
Golf with guns, really. And so I was and I did Hard as Hell Resurrection a couple of years ago, and it was on the Cobalt Range in Utah, and they have this like moon dust sand or whatever the dirt it, whatever the fuck it is. It's like crazy. And one of the things that they love to have us do is to run up the berms. And so I think on one of the berms I was running. So I will also say that I was sick when I went there. Like I had literally just gotten over a chest infection. I was coughing the whole time, and it just wasn't in the proper condition to go do this, but I did anyway because I'm hard-headed and stubborn. Just do shit like that. Not very bright on some things. So, and it was a cool match. I mean, it was really awesome. Like, you guys don't understand that when I say physical exertion, like, one of the stages was you had to carry this simulated 50 caliber M2 machine gun, which weighs like 35 or 40 pounds. The simulated gun, shoot one-handed with pistol, a bunch of pistol steel while you're going uphill, right? And then you would get rid of that, do some more shooting with a pistol, then get your rifle, and then shoot out to 600. And I think we shot out to 675 yards with the rifle after all of that exertion, right? And it's awesome. It's a good time. and then once you shot the long range with your rifle, you had to then clear and sling your rifle and then run all the way back to the beginning and clear 3 more targets. So it's physically, it's just physically hard. There was a stage where you had to run up a berm, and these berms, they're like, you ever seen a shooting bay with the way the berms are?
Thank you, though.
So you'd have to run up this berm with a simulated mortar, which is a 8-foot piece of 4-inch steel pipe over your shoulder. You had to run up it, put it in the stand, run back down the hill, then sling the rifle, and then go to pistol. Then you had to crawl under barbed wire a couple of different times, and then it was it's physical stuff. I'm not a pussy. I want it to fucking hurt, and I don't mind bleeding a little bit. And so there was this one stage where I had to run after shooting through vehicles and a bunch of other things. You had to run up this embankment, and it was the softest, like sandiest dirt. It was like running up a beach at like a probably 15 to 20 degree angle. It was just the hardest thing I've ever done. And I think what happened was at some point when I did that, I twisted my knee and hip, and instead of just being like, ow, that fucking hurts, I'm not going to do that anymore, I quit. No, I did 3 or 4 more stages, and finished the match and went home. And then after that, it just I just hurt. And if I got down into like a kneeling or prone position, I really couldn't get back up very easily. And I kind of ignored it, and I was like, it's no big deal, I'm just stiff. And then I went to shoot a match that January, a night match. And so as I'm getting down beneath the first stage of the night match is you had to get down beneath a vehicle, shoot under the vehicle, then get back up, and then shoot a bunch of targets. And it was a rifle start. And as I got down to take my make ready position, I could not get back up. Like I couldn't do it. Like I could not, because I had like 30 or 40 pounds of gear on. I just couldn't get up. And so I literally had to hand my rifle to somebody and use the car door to pull myself up to my knees so I could get up. And it was at that point that I realized that I done fucked up. And then that was in January. In March, I went to I finally broke down and went to an orthopedist. He said, "Yeah, you fucked your hip and knee up. They shot my knee full of something, and then they had to shoot my hip up with something. I don't know what it was, but the needle was a fucking pipe bomb. I mean, I'm not kidding. That thing was fucking huge, and they literally had to guide it into my hip with ultrasound. They're sitting there, and I'm like, they're like, this. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna hurt. And I'm like, I honestly feel like it's going to hurt a lot, and it did, man. It hurt a lot, but then my hip was better, but my knee was still fucked up, and it took another injection treatment, and we ended up. They did something called dry needling, and that's what really solved most of my knee problems. And in the meantime, because it couldn't be active, huh?
What's dry needling?
It is the craziest thing ever. It's like acupuncture, except they want it to hurt.
Okay.
So what happens is that apparently when you have there's this deal where when you damage a muscle, it clenches up to protect itself, right? And usually over time it'll release, and that's what makes it feel better. But if you hurt it really bad and you keep hurting it, and it just stays it just locks up, and it will not unclench. And so what they did, what the premise behind dry needling is they go in and they stab it to give it another jolt, another shock, another pain impulse, so that it then unclenches. It clenches and unclenches. And if you had told me before I went and did it that it would work, I'd have called you a liar. I'd have been like, what other mythology do you want to tell me today? What are you trying to sell me, bro? What's up? You know, I would have 100% been like, there's no fucking way this is going to work. But that guy did it. Like, I went one session and came out and I'm like, holy, what in the world? Like this is great. And I had to go one more session and that was it. That was the end of it. Like it was crazy how well it worked. But you could feel like he would put the needle in and you wouldn't feel anything. He'd move the needle 1 inch and it would be like the worst pain you've ever felt in your life.
Ugh.
And then it would go away. But it was just like, because that's where the muscle is knotted up. And it was crazy how well it worked. Like I would never in my life suspected it.
So nothing is injected. It's just like the pain.
It's an acupuncture needle.
Okay, right, yeah.
So it's a really tiny little needle. Like you don't feel it going in unless it hits unless it hits a spot that is a pain node, right? Like where you have damage or that muscle is just super, super tight. And the minute the second, I'm telling you, man, it's like it would go in and it would feel like I'd taken a match and like put it in my leg or something, right? It's just a burning pain. And then it would just be gone. It was crazy. It was nuts. Like absolutely ridiculous, really. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so I don't know why I'm saying all this, but it went during the year and a half that all of this was going on. I put on I put on probably 25 or 30 pounds because I just couldn't. I didn't change any other part of my life, but I couldn't be active, right? And I lost probably an inch to inch and a half off of each one of my thighs in muscle.
Wow.
Like I got weak. I mean, it was probably the weakest I've been since high school. And I've always had really, really strong legs. And then it was so bad. And I've been working out off and on for the past year and a half since I had the dry needling done. Yeah. And, but I would keep hurting myself, right? So the problem is that you haven't done anything in a long time. You start working out and you just go a little bit too hard. And now you've strained your knee. I've strained my knees. I almost tore a tricep. Just going too hard, too fast. And it was rough. So, but now I'm doing 2 workouts a day. I dropped 25 pounds since January. And I'm probably going to drop another 15 in the next month and a half or so. Although it's deceptive right now because I'm putting muscle back on. So I'm not actually, it doesn't look like I'm on the scale. I'm not reading that I'm losing any weight, but my gut is getting smaller and my arms are getting bigger. My legs are getting bigger again. So
That's the hardest thing to measure, in my opinion.
it's so hard to come back from an injury, man. Like I never want to hear anybody talk about how easy it is, right? Like, oh, you just start working out again. I'm like, bro, that was rough, man. Cam says that's wait, what do you say? Grit, after me being in a coma from my wreck, it took me over a year to get back. My muscles had atrophied so bad after sleeping for almost a month. Yeah, you're like a twin. It's crazy how it's really crazy how that happens. So, and but I mean, I'm back almost to where I'm leg pressing what I was pre-injury. And
what do you leg press, Grid?
I do 4 sets of 12 reps at 240 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, wow.
I leg press Tuesday in the shower.
There you go. So
Four sets is a lot. 4 sets.
yeah, I
that's
do.
a
I do.
lot. That's a lot. I
Right.
read failure at like 3. I can't do that. I can't do the 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I leg bench 3 Wictifas. I don't know what unit that is. What unit is that?
That's 0 pounds.
0 pounds. Are you a Wick fan, Castle? Are we insulting your hero?
Wick? No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
I-
I'm kind of a Wick fan. Okay, I'm kind of.
I was talking to Tyler about Wick the other day because I used to be interested in his panels more so, and then I guess recently he's gotten on more of like the bigger creators, but so I haven't really spoken to him in a while, but it seems like he's polarized some more folks over the months, or I guess the past year, it seems like. So, but yeah, I'm indifferent on him. Don't really have
Indifferent.
a
Yeah.
He's a good guy, you'd say, Castell. Okay, I feel like you and me are like relatively centrist, right? Wick is okay. He's okay, right?
No.
Oh, it could be worse. He could be worse.
Yeah, he could be.
My
so
man
much worse.
Marte's in the house.
He could
by
be
the way-
worse. I'll say that. There's definitely met some worse people online.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Tyler.
I
Tootie
will
Bug,
say
There's worse people out there.
it all happened on
There
the
are
street.
way
but
worse.
I saw some snaky behavior, and people were posting me screenshots, and I just don't want to deal with. I grew up with heroin addicts, so as soon as I see snake-like behavior, I get that person out of my life.
Yeah. Tootie Bug says that she loves Wick. I actually got a Wick coin the other day. So I got a John Wick coin the other day. So that was cool. Marte, you're welcome to come up on the panel, my man. Just jump on up. Leg press doesn't count. It's all I can do right now, brother. I can do to do squats. I have to go to a different gym.
Great. I have a question for you.
Yeah, man.
When you go to these shooting competitions,
Mhm.
are the people who win usually like ex-military, or are they
No.
just random guys that who
No,
are
so
usually
like-
the winners?
Like there's a kid named well, I'm not gonna say it. There's a kid that I started teaching. I taught him how to shoot 22. I used to teach a 22 caliber youth class geared towards competition, and he was one of my kids, and he went on to actually get really involved in it. He borrowed my equipment to shoot his first match. He now wins regularly. He wins guns, he wins money, he wins, and you know he finishes at the sharp end of the stick. And he's like an 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid, and he's really good. Most of the people who win are people who practice and are ridiculously comfortable with movement with firearms. And to be honest with you, in the military, most people don't move with firearms very often. That's a very select group of people. I know some of them. I mean, we do have people like we regularly have guys from 5th group come down, and they'll shoot with us. We have a bunch of cops that shoot with us. They don't do as well as you would think because they're not. Their training is not geared to going really fucking fast, and I mean like ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
And it's just not what they do. So.
Got it. Yeah. I would have thought the opposite, but that's interesting to learn.
Yeah, and actually, for the most part, police officers are if police officers who do not shoot competition are the most dangerous people on the range because they do not work with their guns enough. They do not practice. They do not draw from a holster. They do not do any of the things that they need to know how to do, and they're literally like they scare the shit out of me when they come out. They'll do just random shit, and almost as bad are the SWAT guys. The SWAT guys that come out, they're bad, man. They're just bad. And I've worked with a bunch of them now, and they can be retrained. They can be trained to be competent, but you have to break down their ego first. They have most of them have a massive ego. They'll act like they don't, but it's there. And I actually had to DQ a guy once because he had just come off of a training rotation. And so one of the things is that in my game, you can never, ever, ever break what's considered the 180. And that is, if we're in a bay, like if forward of this was the bay, I could turn here, but I couldn't turn here. Okay, that breaks the 180, right? So in the training rotations that the police do, they go muzzle down and they can turn full circles and they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that in my game. And if you do that, you get disqualified because we have zero room for stupidity in the game, right? Because this is a game, right? Like this is while it teaches you a lot of really valuable skills, it's golf with guns. And, you know, it's the people who don't understand that are the most troublesome because they will forget that this is a game and there are rules to it that don't apply in the real world. Now, they also do really stupid things like they draw too slow. They do the stupid, you know, security check after they shoot and things like that, which is just dumb because it's a game. Right. You know, I've heard train how you fight so many times. It's just crazy. But I mean, we do some really insane things, right? Like you can't even imagine how fast a pistol can run. You just can't imagine. And then when and rifle, like I actually had a guy come over and ask me at not this past match, but the previous match, if my gun was full auto. That's how fast I can run a gun. And I was hitting a spinner, which is it looks like a double-ended lollipop. One plate is like 6 inches, and the other one's 8 or 10.
Yeah.
I think it is. And you hit it top and bottom, and eventually it rotates. And so I'm going bang, 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 and I'm hitting it. But it's the most insane thing you've ever seen, and how fast it can run, and not.
Do you have video? Have you ever like taken video of your?
I haven't. I never video myself. I mean, I've got like 1 or 2 videos that are really bad from like years ago, but I never video myself. Not for any particular reason, and I have all the gear to do it. I've got the GoPros, I've got the helmet cams, I've got all of it. I just want to go shoot. Like, I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with cameras. I don't deal with microphones. I don't want to deal with that shit. Now I've got friends that do. I mean, let me see if I can dig something up here. Hang on 1 second. I got friends of mine that post their videos all the time. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a video of a one-legged man kicking everybody's ass.
How does that, like, physics?
Physics. Hey, we don't respect physics here. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel anymore. He's on Instagram, but Instagram always looks really stupid. On when I do the share screen. Let me see. Let me see if I can find something here. No, he's not. All right, so that's fine. Let me go to Instagram. I'll get Sergeant Gill up here. Now this guy was a Marine. He's pretty he's a pretty rad dude. Let's see. Well, actually, this is a guy that's a little bit older than me. Let me see if he's got a video here. But he's like in way better shape than I am. We'll have to find Gil. That's all right. Let me do Gil. But I do a lot of.
Jewish genocide was built. Would that
I do a lot of shooting, man. I shoot a lot. Like. when I'm actually competitively shooting, I'll shoot 200 rounds a day of pistol. For most people, that's a lot. All right, let me see if I can get a good video of this this one-legged fool. Yeah, here you. All right, so I can get just the video here. Not all. I don't really. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Stand by. Oh.
DS9.
I would like to debate, but we don't have enough people. We need more people. The link is pinned. What more do you need?
I got about 30 DMs floating without responses yet. All people.
I know it's always that way. Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to. Nobody ever shows up. Sorry. So
Friday night was cool and shit when I was a kid, but like now it's just another night of the week.
right, that's true. All right, we got audio. We got all stuff here. All right, this is my boy James Gill. Now keep in mind he has one eye and one leg.
Don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
Yeah, that was not that good.
Which one's the fake leg?
The right leg.
Yeah, no leg.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Here we go. So he's going from about 200 out to look like about 500, maybe 600. Now he's doing it again.
Well, that first berm only looks like about 100 out.
Yeah, it might be a little bigger, a little more because he's elevated.
Oh, there he goes. Now he's hitting the third berm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he listen. Listen to the hit calls.
Castle's over there like, fuck, I hope that Civil War doesn't pop off.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Stupid open.
I could do that on Call of Duty, no big
Look at that little guy running. Look at him. He's only got one eye.
Grit, how do you lose a leg and an eye? What the
You
fuck
get
happened?
blown up.
Like in active duty?
Yeah, he's a Marine.
In the same event, he lost like a leg and an eye?
Yeah, he lost a leg
Like-
and an eye.
Are you
You should be able to tell just by the way that guy's acquiring his targets right before he pulls the trigger. He's a Marine. There's a
Yeah.
certain stance and a certain like a certain laser eye when you hunt and you hit the target. That's it. Like when your reticle hits the target, you've got your iron sights right on it. Or if you've got a little dot reticle, when it hits it, that's it. And it doesn't matter when you're moving. Your hands stay lasered on it until it goes down and you go to the next target, and then you stay lasered on the next one. You watch him, you could tell he's a Marine. Good one too.
Yeah.
Really attentive to what's going on in front of him.
Yeah, it's a really. I mean, this is and now I will say that he also that dude's won the tactical games where they carry heavy shit, go over obstacles, under them, all of that. He's won the tactical games like outright. And he's a badass, man. I got some cool friends, and K2. I did not see this clip. Did I see the clip of Ryan saying anyone who supports a Crucible and Sarah? What about them? Because a Crucible supports her, a windmill, a friendship. I'm not. Clarify that for me. I'm not.
I don't know what that means.
That's a
I'm
confusing
trying to
sentence.
understand that.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand it, but I don't understand it. Now there are guys that are even faster. Like, let me see if I can find one of Max. I have this friend of mine, Max. His actual name is I think his actual name is Maximundi. He's from California, and and he is a beast. Yeah, Max Leograndis. Now this dude is no joke. No. That's gonna go by too fast. Stand by. We'll get it. We'll get it up there. I don't mind playing videos of my friends. I've been trying to get Max to come on the show forever, and he's like, "Oh, I'm too busy. I got too much stuff going on." All right, you guys. You're at. Oh wait, I gotta hit the button here. Where'd it go? What happened? Oh, there we go. All right, now this is gonna be really fast.
Oh! It's finished. Make ready for your next.
Now wait.
3,
That was
5,
the end of it. Here's the start. Max is a beast.
Hey guys, so I don't want you to get DQ'd at work.
Stand by.
We play different games, bro. That was at the World Shoot.
All right, let's go for a 15-second run with the reload this time. Nice. Ripper plate. Just lift it up, pull that down, push that forward, you're done.
So, what do you think, Castle?
It's pretty impressive. I was going to ask you, Grid, if you took the fastest shooter you knew, but was also one of the more inaccurate guys versus one of the slowest shooters you knew who was more accurate, who would win by the end of it?
The fast guy that's less accurate.
Got it. Yeah, I was wondering if being fast overcompensated or not, but it sounds like that's the case.
Being really well. So I say that, but that's because most people in competition are too accurate. I'm actually that way. I would actually I would place better if I were faster and accepted a looser sight picture. But there's a mentality to shooting that people don't get. One of the things that Jerry Mikulek, who is a world champion, has multiple world records, is a beast of a shooter, and the nicest guy you will ever meet in your entire life.
Shit, I'm supposed to be starting now.
I was listening to him one time talk to a group about shooting and all of that, and he's like, there's no thinking while shooting. And then a little while later, I read Brian Enos's book, Practical Shooting Beyond the Fundamentals. And it's a very zen look at shooting, about how, your brain, and this applies to a lot of sports. Your brain knows what the sight picture needs to be. It knows how you need to move. It knows where you need to do things. And so, because this is part of the, part of your kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? I'll get to it. I'll remember in a minute. But there's a specific word for it, and it's just like when you drive a car. You get in traffic and you drive a car at 70 miles an hour, 3 feet from a car on each side of you, and you don't even think about it. You just drive, and your mind is making thousands of decisions a second.
Yeah, like unconscious.
It's your subconscious. All right, so your subconscious mind does all that, and your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind promotes everything in a yes no, right? Like it's good, no, good, no good, no good, and so if you slave all of these things that you can, because your mind knows what a good sight picture is, your mind knows how far a car needs to be away from you, then your conscious mind can focus on larger decisions, like I need to make a turn to the right up here, right?
Right.
And shooting's the same way. Matter of fact, most things are that. Golf is that way. If you just don't think about your swing, if you just follow the procedure of setting up the swing and just swing, you will do really good. But if you sit there and you're thinking, you're thinking the whole time, I need this swing, I need this cant, I need my hands twisted this way. If you think about it, you'll never get it right, because your subconscious mind is too slow.
Brady, you said the other day you were a psych major as well. So that's the flow state. That's what they call it.
Right. And they try and call it a flow state, but there is no such thing as muscle memory. Your muscles don't have memory. They don't. They just don't. When people say muscle memory, what they're talking about is your subconscious, because your subconscious doesn't need.
That is, you wouldn't say that's muscle memory?
Your muscles don't have memory.
Like holding a pen, or like doing the same
Right, that's your subconscious, right? Your subconscious makes all of those decisions, and it makes it so much faster than your conscious mind can. Your conscious mind has to decide to do it. It has to decide how to do it. It has to decide why to do it. All of those, which honestly, that doesn't take that long. But in the grand scheme of things, it takes a long, long time. Right? And so when I'm really shooting and I know I'm shooting well, and I just zone out and I'm in that zen of shooting thing, I don't consciously decide to pull the trigger. I slave all of that to my subconscious, because my subconscious knows what the proper sight picture is that I need. It knows when it's good enough. It will react so much faster than I can decide, hey, I'm going to pull the trigger, or hey, I have the right sight picture. And so when I'm doing that, what my conscious mind is doing is I need to go 3 steps and turn. I'm going to shoot this plate rack, and then I'm going to shoot these targets over here. And it's so much faster. Like, it is so ridiculously fast. And when people make that breakthrough and start to understand it and really get into this idea of the conscious and subconscious mind and how they work together, it's so much. Their shooting goes to another level. It always does. And the more important thing is that your subconscious mind also knows what things should be, and it orients you in space and time. And so, like, I had a red dot fly off of my pistol once. The bolts sheared off that held the red dot to the pistol. So I have no sights on this gun at all. And yet I shot all alphas. I didn't even slow down. I just shot the rest of it. I shot all alphas. because my mind knows what the index needs to be for those targets. And they were close enough that it was, I just was, I didn't think about it. I just flew, just as Confluence is about to say, I just flowed through it. But it was just that allowing that the subconscious, I just get out of my mind's way when I'm shooting. And I can't even, if you ask me immediately after I shoot, do you think how'd you do? I'd be like, I have no idea. But if you give me 5 minutes and let the subconscious float to the surface and let my mind start, just replay it back a few times, I'll tell you where every shot I took, where I pulled the trigger, if I was on, if I was slightly off, if I jerked or whatever it was, I'll tell you exactly what I did. But immediately after, I can't even tell you. I can't tell you anything. And it's just but I have but again, I've been doing this a very long time, and it took me a long time to understand how that all works together, right? And most people never get there. They never get there because they're not, and it just doesn't make sense to them. But I've done a lot of things where I just kind of go on autopilot, where I have to just make myself, like in a race car, I'm not thinking about anything that I'm doing with a car. My body is telling me what the car is doing, and I'm concentrating on where I want the car to be. I'm not thinking I'm turning the wheel this much or none of that. It's the same thing when I'm flying an airplane. I don't look at the controls. A lot of times I'm not looking at the instruments. I'm looking out, and my conscious mind is taking that information. My subconscious mind is making it all work. And so I think if you do those kinds of things, you get really good at things like shooting and like various other kind of precision sports.
Archery.
Yeah, archery.
Knives. Throwing knives.
With no sights.
Throwing hatchets.
Yeah. Throwing knives.
Mm.
Cam the King says it's almost like you're on autopilot combat. Kind of, really.
Yeah.
I have potentially 2 more people coming.
Awesome.
But I extinguished everything I got. Our
Hey, we got somebody
judge.
join.
Where's Kel? She's our
Kel is
judge.
right there.
There we
I
go.
saw Horseradish out there, but he has not come up.
No, he has to do some stuff tonight.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I don't know if Docs is the. I just want to reveal DMs, but he's a little tied up.
All right.
Hey, Grid. I only jumped up to tell you to check your Discord.
Yeah,
and
I saw it. I can't do anything with it right now, but I'll check it.
Yeah.
Hey, Grid.
I was trying to use code words, so I didn't do TOS.
Yeah, now
in your
Ryan's
chat.
right. It took me a while, but I've decided I don't like Ryan. That doesn't mean I bear any ill will, right? Like I don't like, it's not like if he showed up at my event at DebateCon that I wouldn't let him in or anything. I'm not.
No, I just
Whether I
found
like
that to be
people or
really.
not has nothing to do with that sort of thing. But I've just decided I don't like the guy. Like I just
that clip made me like disgusted for some reason. Hit me in the stomach.
Yeah,
he's
supporting
the show.
Yeah. He's completely bad faith. He argues from a position of authority when he has none, and when you prove him wrong, he will always say, "Well, I'll have to look into that."
Yeah.
And he never fucking does.
I pointed that out. I even pointed that out in the couple of debates that I had with him in my opening statement. Just laid it out. Like the only way he's going to be able to refute a claim is by saying he'll have to point it out. He will have to research it later and look at it later. Like he'll
That's
never
fair, though.
he'll never
You don't want to
concede.
like stand on.
No.
See,
See, the
stand
thing
on
is,
like something
Kel,
that you're not.
no, but here's the thing though, Kel. Okay, he brought research data. I looked at it, determined it had no methodology, no scientifically agreed upon methodology for doing the study. There are methodologies that are agreed on that can be used for doing studies. If you venture outside that, then you have to read like the 2 or 3 paragraph thing that explains the methodology, put it into an Excel spreadsheet and try and do the algebraic equation. And it's just ridiculous. So it wouldn't list the methodology. whenever I put it in to do the math, it wasn't an actual methodology. It was basically a shotgun blast of whatever the hell they chose to pick. And when I called him on that, he said, "Oh, well, I'll have to look into that." He brought that data, not me.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think it's like a write him off completely. I think he's a
I didn't say I
stubborn
wrote him
debater.
off.
Yeah,
I
he's a
just
stubborn
don't
debater.
like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him, and I don't feel any need to help him or need to even
One of my
interact.
favorite
With. I don't feel the
all-time
need.
groups,
Like
Perfume,
I'll never
the
debate
Japanese
the guy.
pop
The guy's
trio,
not. First of all,
Perfume.
it's not worth debating somebody who will never admit that they've lost a point.
Yeah.
I don't know. That clip kind of made me disgusted where I unsubbed.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
I'll for sure look at it. But I mean,
It
look.
was, it was like,
I'm gonna.
okay?
I'm sorry, Grid. I'm gonna
No,
go.
no,
Thanks
go
for. I just wanted to
That's
explain
it.
myself.
Yeah,
and then
graduation, who knows?
Yeah.
what? Yeah. Later, Grid. Thanks for having me up.
Stay safe, K2.
It's
Yep. Thank you.
I mean,
Have a good day,
Just open
cleaner.
the Lightning Collection
Castle.
dividends
If I
statement.
told you
Good.
that
Right?
somebody
That
who
figure's amazing.
who was like using data
Ah,
and they
hell
were
nah.
proved wrong by their
Tell
own
you,
data.
What would be hell
And when you
nah
pointed it out, they said that
about
that's
what?
not what the
would
data
you,
showed, even though it
like,
clearly
what
showed that.
are
What would you
referring
call that
to?
person?
Yeah, I think it's tough
I
if
am
you,
looking all over
you know, in a debate setting, nobody wants to get their
Any
own
interest
data
in
pushed
Japanese wrestling?
back into their face like that. So I get it, but yeah, at the same
Perfume
time,
graduation
to
got me
what the
saying,
other
"Ah,
person
hell
says,
no."
if that's their
Yeah, I
go-to
know,
response
dude.
every
That's gonna
time,
be a
then
dark day in
then
the
it starts to
I
become a
was
little bit
surprised
of an
they
annoying
have not
tactic
come
that
to the
isn't really
US
good
since
faith. But like Kel said, like for a lot of things too, if you were really being
Kinda doing it every
honest
couple
and
weeks,
not trying to
couple
pull any
years.
punches, I get it.
I love seeing
But
that.
if it's something that you
But,
keep going into the well for, then
US
yeah,
like,
I would call that out.
I hope that wasn't.
I mean,
I hope
it's
2019
just
wasn't the last time I could see that.
look.
Yeah.
But man, what a great show that was.
I tried, man. I tried really
That was when
hard
they
to.
did,
Honestly, didn't even need to like him. I just wanted to kind of tolerate him a little bit, you know, and just be like, I don't want to be the kind of person that's thought of as just writing people off and just won't deal with certain people. Because there are some people I just will not deal with. I just don't want them around. I don't, you know, we don't. It's not that they can't come here because we only banned one person, but you know, I just ignore the. You know, I just a bunch of people I just choose not to interact with, and there's really not that many. It really takes a lot for me to say I just don't want to interact with you. But the last
I feel like
time,
he's just a stubborn arguer. What happened?
sorry,
What happened?
Minutes guy?
or
Yes,
any
I
of
was
any one of
willing.
any other, probably
Nice to
like
see you.
10 other
Was-
stupid ass sins that he
Razan?
committed.
Razan.
That would be bad enough. But then he was like all pissed off because he was getting blown out a week or so ago, and he was in the chat, kind of spurging out and being a dick, and he cussed out Agrippas for no damn good reason. You know, told him to fuck off and eat shit. And I'm like, nuh-uh.
Dude,
No.
In fairness, I would admit I was wrong if I was ever wrong. One time I thought I was wrong, I was just mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in that same boat. I thought I was wrong, but it turns out I was right the entire time.
No, but
Tyler.
I will say, I'm someone who will quote studies, but if someone like wants to enter into that study and like wants to say the methodology is flawed, I will enter into that. And if you don't enter into that, you are definitionally a snake. I will say that. You can't quote a study and then not be able to back it up.
Yeah.
But look,
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, if your study doesn't show what you think it did, or somebody else's study is newer or more current or whatever, all you got to do is just say, "Hey, man, my bad." All right. So just last night I had done research going into the what was supposed to be a debate ended up being a conversation with Wick and those guys. And I had actually mentally transposed something that Soy Pill had said for something Wick had said. I don't know why I did that. It's just some in my brain. And I'm like, in the middle of towards the end of the discussion, I'm like, wait, Wick, I think you said something about this, didn't you? And he's like, no, I don't think I did. What did I say? And I went back to my notes. And sure enough, I had transposed it. And I said, Wick, sorry, man. I thought it was you or somebody else that said it. No big deal. And he's like, yeah, no big deal. It's good. That's how you're supposed to operate. I fucked up. I have the wrong fact. I'm sorry. You know, or you know what? My data is from 2020, and we need 2024 and 2024 data shows something completely fucking different. I'm sorry, I'm looking at outdated data. How hard is it to just say that, right? But
I always, that was my biggest advice to the girl on whatever that was getting cooked next to me. I was like, girl, a concession will get you far. But
yeah,
I feel like Ryan's normally pretty good about that.
no,
gonna
he's
lie.
not. He's never conceded once, ever.
Can't
Yeah.
concede if you've never been wrong.
Right,
I'll have to look
yeah.
into it. I'll have to
I'm
look
just-
into it.
I'm
Well, but there's more to it.
I'm kidding, I'm
all right,
kidding.
so even all right, let's just say that we don't even have to really get into the concede part of it. He is still using 2020 and 2021 data for the Jan 6 incident. When now we're in 2025, baby. We're now. Hey, there's Ryan. I know all I need to know about you, Ryan.
Wait, is he joining?
Yeah, he's not joining. I'm not gonna let him up. But he's in the
that'd be
chat.
fire though if he did.
Ryan just tried to.
Funny
rape
part is
me,
I was just on
literally.
his.
He's still
panel.
using 2021 data for Jan 6. He doesn't look at any of the 2025 data that shows that we're actually investigating the the feds, right? Like it wasn't him, it was somebody else. We were talking the other day about Jan 6, and they were talking about how it was the Proud Boys who broke into the congressional building, and it wasn't. It was a Fed, and they're prosecuting that Fed right now.
Wait, we talking
I
about
think
Ray
the
Epps?
Out of curiosity,
Is
was
Ray
this a
Epps?
Fed in their official duty, or was this an off-duty Fed that was?
No, it was an
protesting?
undercover Fed.
Undercover. Interesting that they would be prosecuting someone undercover.
Right, because he went off script, I guess. I
When
don't
you
know.
say that, like a lot of these people that they're calling feds were more just normal people that were informing the FBI. Was that the case, or was this? actually
No, it
something
wasn't an
employee?
informant. It was an actual agent.
An actual
And
employee.
he
Is-
broke.
is-
He's the one that
I
broke the
need to
door
know.
down. He's the one
Yeah,
that said,
do you
"Come
have
on
this
in,
person's
guys.
name?
Let's go." They've got all of that stuff. It's all proven. The
Do you
Proud
have this
Boys had
person's
no,
name? I
had
just would
no
love to look it up.
Yeah, the Proud Boys had no actual desire to actually enter in that manner. It was just that the guy's like, "Oh yeah, let's go in this way," and he broke the door down and went, and that's okay. And they're getting prosecuted right now, or investigated. I don't know if they're actually going to prosecute, but they're getting investigated. I'm assuming that they will eventually prosecute.
Okay, what
But-
about Grid? What about the text from what's his name? Enriquez Torres?
Is that Dylan? That's Dylan.
Oh shit.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Whoa.
Hey, we were going to debate sci-fi topics. Are you in for that? We can almost have
it's a-
enough people here to do it.
I can try. I don't know really anything about science fiction. I'm
good.
very
I'm gonna
much
crush you
I
all.
like westerns. Okay.
Western? Really?
I like westerns. I like old western.
Well, we
movies.
should
like
we
our
should
first
totally
science
do a
fiction
Western
night.
debate night.
I got
Totally.
2 more people that said they're maybes. One of them is a guy I really like named Eucharist.
I think I've talked to him before. I don't
was
know
on
that I
the
have, but I mean, I've
recruiter.
talked to so many people lately, dude. I don't even know. How are you, Dylan? You still out there in the? Did you get back across the border, or?
Yeah, I'm across the border. I'm in Ukraine now. I'm in my bunker studio in Kiev. I got this pretty good hookup, which is like an underground recording studio. So during air raids, during air attacks, I can keep streaming. I can live stream through everything. It's very useful. And I'm gonna go hang out with my buddies in a bit. I haven't seen them in like 2 months since I've been here, so I'm gonna go out there, go to the countryside, smoke, relax, and try to enjoy a little bit before I head back to the front.
I didn't realize. Wait, are you living in Ukraine these days?
I live in Ukraine 6 to 8 months out of the year.
Oh wow, damn.
Wow.
Hey, Grid. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like source bro. I'm just genuinely curious because I didn't know that it was like a Fed. Where did you hear that? Because I'm googling it right now. And it could just be my
the
research
name
skills.
would
I don't
be
see anything
really-
about
You
that.
need to
Useful.
talk to. Look, I don't have all of that data. I don't care enough. But
Yeah.
talk to Tim Hale. He has
Tell him.
all of it. He has all of that shit.
Word,
Like
word.
he's,
Ray
he's
Epps.
actually a
I'm
I'm like,
witness.
that's
Remember his name off the top of
crazy
your
if
head?
that's true.
Guy.
That's
Sorry?
actually crazy.
You don't
But
remember
that's
his
crazy.
name off the top of your head?
Are we talking about Ray Epps?
Well, yeah.
I'm not finding
No.
anything on it when I search, but a lot of that always to me, like if you ever did undercover things with drugs and whatnot,
At least I
the
can get
police
Tim to come
officers-
on.
Police
Fuck is
officers
he?
are constantly trying to get like people I know to buy drugs, and then as soon as the sale happened, they'd arrest that person, or they take the drug dealer's phone and tell, "Hey,
Yeah.
come through." Like police are essentially allowed to egg on the crime and get you to commit the crime that you're already trying to commit yourself. So
But they can't commit a crime. I mean, they can't actually break down a door and invite you in.
Yeah, they can't
like the
commit the
Gretchen
crime
Whitmore
in your
case?
place, but like
I'm sorry, I can only listen to one person.
yeah.
I was just gonna say like the Gretchen Whitmore case, where like most of the people were feds on it.
But still, 6 people got prosecuted from that. Only like some of them, like a handful, got thrown out. Most of them were prosecuted. Same thing
Right,
with
but
January 6th. I'm reading a watchdog on January 6th. Entrapment's a very specific thing, but a watchdog on January 6th said that there were only informants. There were no actual FBI agents in the crowd, just 23 informants. So I need to see more of this. I'm just not finding anything on it. I'm not saying it's not true. It's just
I don't.
Yeah.
I think Ray Epps was a fed. I'm gonna say that. Conspiratorial brain maybe, but y'all Google him.
I gotta get. I'll have to get Tim on here.
Yeah, no,
He's
that'd
not
be an
answering.
interesting topic as a point. Yeah, it's not emergent. It'd just be an interesting topic to.
Yeah, we can do it. We'll do it another night. I'll have Tim come on, and he can, because he's actually he's part of that investigation because he was one of the ones that was railroaded. They actually mic'd up his roommate to try and get him to incriminate himself.
It's
I'm
crazy.
trying to get Rowan on here. This guy has beautiful hair.
Are you trying to outdo Dylan? Is that what's up?
No, I'm reaching out.
I'm wearing a hat. I'm disarmed. That isn't fair.
I used to run pug groups on World of Warcraft when I was younger. This is basically the same thing. Hey, we're looking for 2 DPS, 1 healer, preferably a druid, and we're looking for a paladin tank. So come through.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like doing all the shit to get on cam tonight, but I think my hair is actually longer than yours, Dylan.
Hey, let me.
Maybe
let me
I got
paint
really
a-
curly hair, and so
Dylan
when it
has to
stretches
go
out, it goes
hat
halfway
off
down my
for us
back.
to know.
Let me
Hat
let me
off,
paint.
Dylan. Come on.
Let me paint a real quick picture for you guys and see what you think about this. All right. So just picture like 1990s, right? Like Snoop Dogg in the 90s, like when he first started the whole slick back thing, and then right after that he went curly, right? All right. And just imagine if he was a white guy and.
I like the
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg comparison. Who doesn't like a
He
Snoop
looks
Dogg
a lot like him, does he not? I mean, 90s Snoop Dogg, like he's got the same.
I'd have to
All of
see
it.
him hatless though.
Yeah,
right?
I don't
Like,
actually remember what Snoop Dogg looked like in the 90s.
Pull up a picture. You
I actually-
White
I'm-
leader
I'm
coordinator
telling
from
you.
Ukraine.
I'm telling you, he looks a lot like him. Just, I mean, obviously white versus black, but
I'll take your word for it. Take your word for it. Let me.
Oh yeah, actually I do see. Like yeah, his hair was a hell of a lot curlier because
yeah.
black hair tends to be. But yeah, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So what, Dylan? What else is going on, man? Hey, thanks for the invite the other night. I'm always looking to get into different groups, So I
No
appreciate it.
worries. I used to do panels all the time. I used to host Hippy Dippy back in the day, which was
Yeah,
a
heard
panel.
about that.
And I did it for a while. I know how much effort goes into scheduling that and trying to corral 8 people to show at the same time. People canceling 30 minutes beforehand. People asking, like, I remember getting a DM from Lauren Southern an hour before the debate. Hey, I didn't do any research. Can I just skip it? Like, that type of stuff just happens. And so if I can help any panel booker, just a little bit by just, hey, let me point this person in the right direction. I ran into this guy. He does panels. Maybe he'd be enjoying, this conversation. I try to help where I can. And Riley's a good friend of mine. We both are from Maryland, so, we're above everyone else.
Okay.
Geographic joke.
Yeah, that's funny. Do we have enough? I mean, we don't have enough people here. We don't have 3 judges and enough debaters. We're so close. We need like 3 more people.
I'll debate.
I know you will, but I need you as a judge.
All right.
I know you'll debate.
I say Kel's the only judge because she's a layman on this stuff, and we have to convince her, and then we just go wild. Then we have 6.
Yeah, she got
I
really
agree.
bored last time. Did you not see her eyes
it.
going back in her head last time?
Let's see if I can take
Last time was really boring.
a single
I was gonna
L
say.
this time. I would love a
Entertain
single
her.
L.
Okay.
I was like, "What's that, mother? What do you mean?"
I don't think she's gonna let us do that to her again.
Why do we gotta do
Judges
sci-fi
in the
debates? We should just do general debates, and we can roto judges. We
Nothing,
could.
nothing makes me more angry than somebody that shows up to like a debate topic or a panel that didn't do prep. Like I
You know what,
over prep for
Ryan?
everything.
You can fuck right off. You can't. Mods, get rid of Ryan. Matter of fact, Ryan, don't come back. And I never say
I
that.
feel like Ryan would be fire right now. based on
I
what
think
he's
Ryan
doing.
needs to go the fuck
I'll
away.
see you
I
Sunday,
don't like.
Ryan.
I feel like he should have a
I
chance.
don't
to defend
like
himself.
Ryan as a.
Look, I don't
person.
even know Ryan, but I feel like he would like.
I don't like
should
Ryan
get
as
the
a.
chance to
Freaking
defend
debate
himself.
opponent.
I do panels with him on Sunday. He's quite fun on those.
Yeah,
Come
no,
on,
like,
give
that's
him a
gotta
chance
be
to defend
fire.
himself.
Come on, let us
1984.
destroy Ryan. Okay, let's.
No, I don't have the mental capacity to listen to his bullshit tonight. Okay, I'm in a great
What
mood.
if I moderate?
I'm in a
Kidding.
great fucking mood.
Some free speech warrior you are.
I never said I was one. So, I'm sorry to disappoint. Not really. But
Oh,
okay.
here I thought all the flag and the guns behind you was free speech.
Okay,
Oh.
someone can take down Ryan. Okay, who's our best debater? I feel like someone.
It's not a question of being a good debater. You just have to be willing to literally sit there and listen to 4 hours of bullshit. And I'm not.
I've already taken.
I don't
That's
know
Loki.
Ryan.
That's Loki what we do all the time. It's
And I'm about to
for
catch
hours.
these
That's
hands
our
tomorrow night.
specialty.
That's the
That's
juror.
low-key kind of our thing.
Ancom about to get these hands tomorrow night, boy. Ancom, you ready?
That's
All
low-key
right.
what we
We'll
do.
see. We'll see.
The bucket button. The bucket.
Bucket.
The
I called your mom in high school.
No, I was your mom. I promise. Oh my God, cancel culture. I love you for this move, Grid. Thank you so much. Look, it's worth the $2. That made it perfect.
They're fighting. The season of Fortnite is so cool.
The thing is that I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with it tonight. I have Dylan up here to deal with, and Dylan's been super chill, by the way. Like everybody was telling me how gangster Dylan was, and how he would just like ruin your whole panel and shit. And he's been every panel I've been on with Dylan, he's been chill.
Honestly,
I ruined the panel.
I got the same shit when I first
If I haven't
started.
done that yet, I'll try harder.
There you go.
People told me the same shit when I first started doing all these streams and shit too. I have no complaints at all. Like I don't know where you got your reputation, but it doesn't fit.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
I didn't
Hey,
know I had that reputation. No one ever told me that.
No, I actually, I think the only reason I thought that is I caught you on Prime Kai's, and you and Fabian Liberty were going at it pretty good. And
Well, Fabian's easy to go after because, I mean, when you're an ANCAP and you believe in any form of government, it's just gonna fundamentally like what you're doing is evil. It's like you're gonna clash, It's
yeah, I actually really like Fabian.
You would.
I
We have
do
a
agree
one-on-
with Dylan's take, though.
He and I have a one-on-one for the debate championship series
ANCAP,
coming up next week.
ANCAP is easy claps. I will say that.
He goes so esoteric on some things, like way the fuck out there, and I'm sitting there the whole time like, I mean, it makes sense, but damn, son, like you had to take it like way out there to make it make sense, but you did. You got it there. He had this he blew me away the other night. We're having a discussion about how the Civil Rights Act was actually a form of slavery, of enslavement, and I'm like, no, come on. And he explained it, and I'm like, you know what? You wrapped it up. There's a bow. There it is.
He hijacked that whole fucking.
Esoteric
He
enough.
did.
I
He
agree.
did hijack the whole thing. But yeah, it was crazy.
You know what I feel every time I talk to Fabian Liberty, I feel like it's like Monty Python. Like you're talking to that guy in the dirt. He's like criticizing. I'm
The
trying to
Black
remember
Knight?
that scene. Monty
Oh,
Python
the
was like,
anarcho-syndicalist
Knight.
yeah,
commune
the
guy.
anarcho-syndicalist on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scene with the Black Knight. He chops his arm off and he
Well,
switches
no,
arms with his
different
sword,
scene.
chops
Same
the
movie,
other
different
arm
scene. No, this is the guy who's like, oh shit. If I went around saying that that some watery bent with a scimitar
Oh,
made
the one
me
that was
king.
buried?
Yeah, well, they
Yeah,
were
no-
digging in the mud. They were mud peasants.
Yeah.
Yes, is that some lovely
Yeah.
filth over here, Dennis?
Gotcha.
Apparently, Agrillipus has seen the movie a lot. So what's new? What's new in Ukraine?
If I went around claiming supreme executive authority just because some watery bent lobbed a scimitar at me, they'd put me away. I fucking love that line.
Probably, yeah, that's true. And ComSciCom. I love that, man. That's cool.
Justice for Ryan.
There is no justice for Ryan.
My name, you mean?
Where are you, Cal? I can't see.
Free
Cal.
Ryan.
Kel,
I
well,
agree with Kel.
Kel's not using Chrome right now, or she's using a very low bitrate.
Yeah, that's the other reason I decided to not go camera, because I prefer Firefox and it didn't want to work with camera, so I just figured I'd go
Yeah.
with
Does Chrome suck?
Dude, what is everybody's issue with Firefox? I've been running Firefox the whole damn time, and mine works.
Does
Yeah, I
Chrome
just
suck with
remember
it?
last time, like, it would I would still see my own video moving and doing everything fine, but apparently it kept freezing for everyone else. I don't know why. Like, I honestly just think it's bad coding on Streamlabs' part if that's happening, but I don't
Talk
care.
Studio. Whoever invented macaroni and cheese is fucking awesome.
True. Specifically,
It wasn't the
Kraft
Italians, I promise you.
Specifically,
Right now.
Kraft Dinner, aka Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, the supreme form of the dish.
Yeah.
I make my own.
Damn it! I totally forgot. I had Kel on, and I forgot to talk to her about the Bizarro Kel that we're gonna have on Wednesday night. Damn it!
She'll be back.
You mean literally just Cal, right, Grid?
It's
You
not
mean
just
literally
Cal. It's not
it is
just-
just Cal. Okay?
It is
I wanna
hilarious though
dispose all
that
illusion.
her YouTube handle or whatever, Instagram handle or whatever is Get Clawed, and that's Kel's favorite drink is
It's
White
li-
Claw.
It's just Cal. I don't want all of you to be
There's
disappointed.
Kel.
It's just Cal.
It's not.
There she is.
There's Kel. Welcome back, Kel.
Thank
Can
you.
we hear you?
Yeah, is that better?
That is way better. Why are you so green?
That's
Just bad
What's your
white
favorite color,
balance on the
Grid?
camera.
You are quite green.
What's your favorite color?
That just normal. Just normal.
Purple. Oh, purple.
Oh, the pink was good.
2600 Kelvin. That's
There we
that's
go.
the color I want.
2 more on the way. I got Lethe and Rowan probably coming. So
Oh,
if you wanna
Leafy's
start-
coming out on this. Hell yeah.
if
No,
you
there we
wanna
go.
start,
Sterile.
you probably can. And if you need me to
It
debate,
feels
I can.
sterile, doesn't it?
You
No.
look great.
Best
Best you've looked in a while.
Yeah. No, it's good.
So
if you're sterile, I'm in a corpse farm.
It really
I have
turns
to look
out
like-
if you
I have
just
to be in
treat
normal
everybody-
life all
sorry.
day.
If you just treat everybody like a decent human being behind the scenes, you can get along with both left and right wingers on the internet. It's pretty crazy how that works.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I get along with most people.
What about Ryan, Grid? What about Ryan?
I gave him every.
Free Ryan.
I gave
Justice
Ryan
for Ryan.
every single I have tried so hard. I'm like, I really try to like this guy, but I don't like him. I just don't like him.
I need to see Ryan. I feel like I don't know why everyone hates him so much. Is he that bad?
That's exactly.
I
how
don't
my
think so, but
Wait,
I
hold
align
on,
more
hold on.
politically
I got
with him,
something
so.
for this. Stand by. I got something for
There's
this.
just some people out there other personality types clash with. I got those people that just loathe me, and I try to treat everybody like a decent person. So it is what it
Tyler,
is.
no one could loathe you.
No
Don't
one could
be-
loathe-
don't-
Oh, I know
don't
people that
be
loathe Tyler.
so fucking-
They exist.
Now you're
No,
making
no, I
shit up now.
personally know at
Come
least 2
on,
people who
Tyler.
loathe Tyler.
No, I refuse to believe that. I
You're-
refuse.
I feel trolled.
He's been really playing up the like married sweetheart role. So just get the haters off his back, okay?
No, I don't believe.
Now,
anyone
the
hates Tyler,
the
okay?
reason that the people I know loathe him is because they think his debate tactics are dishonest and slimy, which sometimes, yeah, a little bit, but,
I wanted to win it,
Wait,
you know.
Tyler or
Hey,
Nick, win it.
or Ryan?
Wait, hold on. Hold the
Shots
phone.
fired.
Tyler's debate tactics are slimy.
Dishonest and slimy on occasion. I don't think it's a constant thing, but I do,
Raw.
I do agree with it to a small extent.
Are you talking about here in like the speed debates or in long form debates?
Longer form. It's fair. Sometimes I don't always use the best tactics. It's fair.
Tyler, don't demean yourself like that.
Well, I debated. I debated Tyler. Tyler came at me, right?
He came at you, bro.
He came at me, which was cool, you know. And we did a debate moderated by Andrew Wilson. And I thought it was hilarious. I've never had anybody agree with me so much in a debate.
A concession will get you far.
I mean, literally agreed with me. And I'm like, wait, why is Tyler agreeing? Like, he's not supposed to do this. It was the most polite debate I think I've ever had.
I think we got.
Yeah, but he has no reason to slime you out like he does everybody else.
Oh, stop!
Oh, shots fired!
Yeah, you haven't
Jesus.
seen his ugly side.
Leafy water eyes.
Wow.
Average
Funny part
debate
is-
destroyer.
Leafy also knows one of the people that I'm thinking about who loathes Tyler. So,
Hey Kel, can you do me a favor just once, please? Can you just look right at the camera and say, "Do you want fries with that?"
Don't do it, Kel. You're trying to demean you, Kel.
No, that's
It's not demeaning. I just want to see if she can pull it off. I really do.
Hey, if the president can do it, she can do it.
hey, all that proves to me is that she's had a working class background. That's all I need to know.
I'm just
I
curious if she can pull it
have
off.
never worked in food before. I've never.
Oh, okay. So your inability to pull
But
it
I
off.
felt
is
I had like an
a
updo done.
bourgeois
These braids
piece
were
of
like a
scum.
part of my bun, but I felt bald.
So as I was saying, it's not about the length of the hair. Look at that beautiful fucking mane that Rowan has. That is not just the length; it's it's got nice volume to it.
Yeah,
It
the
glistens.
volume is sublime.
Jesus.
I will say that.
wow.
Now she looks like a dwarf.
You're taking this.
Thank
a
you
little
so
far.
much.
All the blood rushed from this head to this head so fast, I'm dizzy.
We got a clip. I've got a clip coming in.
Alrighty.
There you go.
And Tyler being
I
as
do think Ryan gets the good end of the stick. Everyone fucking hates Ryan.
Wow.
Community note on Twitter.
Ray, you really gotta fix your audio setup because I'm hearing myself echo when you.
It's only when he's playing stuff.
Yeah, you got to just shut the fuck up for 5 seconds sometimes.
Wow.
From time to time.
Oh, hot!
Kel,
Ginger,
that's
like
not
ginger
blame
violence.
yourself.
Fucking
but
good girl.
for
Ryan,
context,
Kel.
there was some incel guy that came on the panel and he was like literally crying to Grid and he was like, Grid, you literally give it's so funny how this all played out. You literally give Ryan so much screen time. You love him. You're giving him a career basically. It's not fair. Ryan has such a glamorous life. And I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. Stop being like a poor me. Ryan does not have a great life in this little panel sphere. Everyone literally fucking hates Ryan. And I stand on what I said. Because look what happened.
Yeah, she said what she said. She said what she said. But
free Ryan. Justice for Ryan.
That's not what you just said in the
Ryan-
clip, Kel.
But
I'm
but
just
that's
saying,
you.
that's not what
Did
you
you
just said.
Ryan did get justice.
There's
Ryan did get
context.
justice.
There's
He
context
fucked
there.
around. He found out. That's justice.
Context.
What's the context, Kel? What's the context?
I just explained. I was just explaining to the guy that was crashing out at Grid how Ryan really doesn't have it all that good, bro. Like as much screen time as you think he gets, that's like not a glamorous life. The only reason they bring him on half the time is to berate him. That's all I was explaining to the guy.
He got second place the last time he did one of these with us, so he only lost to Beth at the end because he was too nice to her. So otherwise, he was cutthroat. That dude was killing it out there. I voted for him every other time.
Can you guys give me a second here?
No.
Ryan, did you really tell one of my mods to fuck off?
Yeah, I told him to eat shit too.
Okay. Door's over there. We'll see you.
Yeah, I mean, you can boot me if you want. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm going to. You can't tell my mods to fuck off. That's fucked
Okay.
up.
Well, thank you for having me.
At least he was nice at the end.
I like the dark Biden memes. We got enough people. Like, you want me judging, or you want me?
Who's judging? Who wants to be the judges, man?
I can judge.
I would gladly judge some of these debates.
I can debate too. I don't give a shit. Put me where you need me.
I want I want Cleaner obviously as a judge. He's one of the more fair ones. Tyler, I like Tyler as a judge.
But I also want to debate.
I'm
got really-
tempted to
okay,
have.
check
Well, so Dylan's already told us that he's not a sci-fi guy. So maybe we'll let him judge these debates.
Why don't we? Isn't this like our
Nobody
third week
can
in a row
say
on
that
sci-fi?
that I lean heavily right. We now have a true conservative, a conservative that considers himself a centrist, and a confirmed leftist in the in the mix. Nobody can say I run a biased panel at all. So that's what's up.
Not leftist,
Whatever
not
I
leftist. Let's just
Just the
center.
DEI hire. Wild.
I was gonna DEI hire you,
I
but
was gonna
didn't get
DEI.
I didn't get the information packet, and you didn't submit your 10 whatever form, and so I can't hire you. So there you go.
Was really hoping that joke was going somewhere.
No,
better.
I know you did, but it doesn't. All right, so sci-fi, Lord of the Rings, it's all on the table. I do have some prompts ready to go somewhere. I don't know what I did with them, but I'll find
Why
them.
are we on sci-fi so hard this month? Is it like sci-fi month?
Because it's cool.
Technically, Star Trek Day is in September, so you know.
Well, I think the other thing about this is like, I mean, everywhere else, all over the debate sphere, we're hearing people arguing about what's going on with Charlie Kirk, what's going on with politics, what's going on with fuck it, everything insane in the world, right? And so it's like, come on, man. Like Friday night, we just need a night, just chill, just relax, let the boys and chill.
And to be honest, these are usually topics that have a relevant theme, but we're just couching it in sci-fi movie or books or whatever.
I mean, most sci-fi does have a political tone, underneath it. So,
and we're not even going like hardcore, like we're not going like Piers Anthony or Asimov. I mean, not yet anyway. Or a Heinlein. We haven't even gotten into like the true sci philosophers out there, man. We're just talking just normal sci-fi that a lot of it's just made in the movies. So, by the way, anybody else wants to come up, you're welcome to. Just come on, click the link, jump up, have a good time. The way this works is we used to have it where people would donate money to buy a debate, a 1v1 between two competitors. And then Trump made it in an awesome move where donations and tips are not taxed, which is awesome. However, if you receive something like, say, a debate or a move or something like that, then it's no longer a donation or tip because you're buying something. So then it confuses things, and I don't like YouTube looking at me too closely, and I certainly don't want the government looking at me too closely. So now I just decide who gets the debates. Hopefully the audience, throws out some donos. If not, I don't really give a shit at this point. I used all the money to pay for the big party we're having at DebateCon anyway. So, yeah, that's what's up. So, by the way, if you were intending to come to DebateCon to my event, everyone's invited. It is free as long as you have a DebateCon ticket. We have had a change in venue because after the Charlie Kirk assassination, I can't 100% prove that what happened was the corporation that owns the venue that I had deposit on decided that there was liability there for them. I can't prove that. However, it was a very convenient thing how they refund. Like literally, like I got the email saying that, hey, we can't, you can't do it because we've had a VIP client do some stuff, and then literally my deposit was refunded like that.
Damn.
All right, Agrippa sending in the big 50 triggered the TTS. You guys can't hear it because you're not on YouTube, but everybody out there on YouTube heard a very lovely, charming English voice read that, which is awesome. Thank you for the big 50, my friend. So who wants to debate who, or should I just pick?
I would say you should pick a prompt and then let people decide if they want to take that.
So we usually do it the other way. I usually pick two people I want to see fight, and then we let them pick a prompt that they want to go after.
Yeah, I'll admit I have a hole in my knowledge about Star Trek, so it's just my worst.
All right. Well, we're not gonna. Yeah. All right. So, and the way this works, guys, if you haven't done it before, you get it is timed. We do. You get 1 minute each for your opening statement. Then you get 5 minutes open discussion. At the end of the 5 minutes, we bring everybody back up. We decide who wins, who loses. Well, actually, I don't. I moderate, but the judges decide who wins, who loses, and based on and give their explanation why. And then you either live or you die. And actually, since we've had so few people playing lately, I've just been leaving people up sometimes. Just give you an extra chance. But anyway, who wants to go first?
I'm down.
Tyler's like, me. I'm ready. All right. I'm good with Tyler setting out. Who do you want to argue with, Tyler?
Throw whoever at me. Tell me which side of the prompt I'm taking, and watch them lose.
Prompt is fentanyl would be good for the Empire to push. You have to take the affirmative.
That would be hilarious. I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on!
It's
actually, I'm going right up your alley.
Pharmaceutical drugs are a general good. Absolutely, I could argue that.
Yeah.
Population
Did
control.
Gandalf manipulate the Fellowship for his own ends, prioritizing the destruction of the ring over their individual well-being?
Ooh. Anyone want it? You can pick your side. I'll take the other one.
Nobody wants that one? All right.
It's like the one sci-fi movie I watched, so I'm kind of like, I might grow. It's not even sci-fi, is it? It's more.
No, it's a long walk.
Fantasy,
Disturbed.
high
Yeah.
fantasy, right? They call it.
I mean, I could take that, but it's definitely not my best topic, and I'd rather save it for something I'm a little more.
So let me help you. Did Trump manipulate the FCC for his own ends, prioritizing the destruction of Jimmy Kimmel over ABC's well-being? See, it's modern.
Look, I'll do the Gandalf thing. I'll defend Gandalf if nobody else will.
My judge wants to debate now. Well, we'll just have Kel judge this one. Oh no!
Confluence wants to take my judge spot.
Yeah, Confluence. You're going to be a judge this time. All right. The rest of you guys got to go to the back. I like you, but I can't look at you right now because we got to debate. So, Dylan's going to debate. Leth, I'm not familiar with. I've seen you before, but I'm not familiar with you, man. Welcome to the show.
Yo.
And Rowan, you got to go too. I got one too many up here. No, it's Confluence has to go. There you are. All right, it's gonna be fun. All right, you guys know the rules. Everybody good?
Am I the
affirmative? Who's the affirmative?
I don't know any of the rules, but I'm good.
Yeah.
1 minute
Well,
opening.
the rules are there are no real rules. You're going to get 1 minute to make your case. Are you the affirmative?
What was the exact prompt? I don't know.
Okay. Did Gandalf manipulate the Fellowship for his own ends, prioritizing the destruction of the ring over the whatever they called them, the group, the 5, the 10, or whatever, the Fellowship, the individual well-being, their lives? Did he risk their lives to destroy the ring and not without care?
Then I'm the affirmative.
I'll take the negative.
All right, you guys are going to have fun with this one. All right, so you start off. Whenever you start.
All right, so even in the best reading, where Gandalf was well-intentioned, he was still absolutely risking the lives. But what you find out throughout the story is Gandalf the Grey wasn't exactly the best guy in the world. There were a lot of instances and other options that he could have done. People have picked the story apart. He could have accessed the Eagles and flown the ring a majority of the way. He could have contacted an army. He could have done many other things. Instead, he got some of the most ill-equipped people for the job just because they're small and maybe could do something special. Boromir, for all of his faults, he did not deserve to die. And because Gandalf took these unequipped people who didn't have any chemistry or any knowledge of each other and foist them all into this situation to make this fellowship, he put them in a bad situation that could have been easily amended if they had any sort of different makeup or people, one race, they have warriors. But I presume he's going to argue that he did help them at certain points, but he also abandoned them. When he went to go check on the necromancer, he left them alone to die. Like, there were certain instances
that's your minute. You were rolling, man. Dylan, just start talking, and I'll start the timer.
Sure. Look, Gandalf is old homies. He smokes with the boys back in Hobbiton. You know, they're having a good time. They go way back. The idea that he would backstab their homies in that way, I find that personally offensive and disrespectful to Gandalf's legacy. I'm not saying the plan was perfect, but let's understand the conditions on which this plan was made. Okay? The plan was made after it was clear that the ring could no longer be contained in Hobbiton. He had to make a plan on the fly to figure out how to respond to it. And so he had to use the resources at his disposal. Yeah, it'd be great if he had a dragon and he had all these, like, oh, I have the magic spell that will teleport this ring over the volcano and drop straight in. That'd be fantastic if he had those tools, but he didn't. He had a bunch of little tiny stormtroopers and he used them like Russian soldiers and, you know, just wave after wave. And if we have to do that with the hobbits, we have to do that with the hobbits, you know? You got to send them in. You got to save Middle-earth, because if Middle-earth falls, they're all going to die anyway.
Okay, he had like 3 seconds left. That was excellent. All right, so I want a nice, clean fight, guys. No below the belt. Just, you know, keep it clean. And just when whoever starts talking, I'll start the timer.
I mean, even in the best reading, he still was absolutely risking their lives to prioritize this. And I mean, they had a great amount of time. Sauron didn't know where the ring was. That's why he had the wraiths out looking in a general vicinity. They got a boat, and you know he had access to boats because he sailed it at the end of the third book. He could have easily done something else that was much safer. Instead, he just hobbled together people that weren't ready to go.
Look, I admit that he put their lives at risk, but their lives were already at risk. I mean, the Middle-earth's already a threat. The key to Sauron's plans is in their town, okay? If the nuclear codes are in your hometown, you're at risk whether you like it or not. So you can talk about, oh, he put them at risk. They were at risk by the proximity of where they were to the violence and where all the power players were, which was in their hometown. So yeah, they put them at risk, but not any more than they already were. Instead, they put them to work. And you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I think if Gandalf was a real man and really wanted to take the load, he should have carried the ring himself.
Gandalf was an alpha. Don't you ever accuse him of being a beta. No.
He touched that ring. He said, "You know what? I'm personally too weak to do that. How about you do it? Unequipped person that's never been in combat." He threw them to the wolves. They were not prepared. Zero training. It was cruel.
Look, I mean, zero training, that, you know, sometimes work experience is the training that you get. Look, if you got a week to train to learn your rifle because the manpower requirements are too bad, that's just how it is, okay? That's the situation that you find yourselves in. Look, if they could have gone to Sauron and say, hey, could you wait a few months? You know, we want to prepare. You know, the hobbits want to do some push-ups and sit-ups. They want to do some jumping jacks and jump rope. Then, yeah, they'd have time to prepare. It fell upon them. There was a birthday celebration. The movie opens with a birthday celebration. They were not prepared for this at all. It fell upon them, and they did the best they could given the situation.
Oh, yeah.
You would have done no better, Tyler.
I absolutely don't want to take anything away from them. And the hobbits themselves, they did fantastic, especially since Gandalf set them up for failure. But what I want to emphasize is justice for Boromir, okay? Boromir did not deserve what was coming.
Boromir Schmoromir. I mean, he was out in the open. He ran out into the open. He gets shot. You know, if I say, look at me, bros, and I run to the open and get shot by like 50 arrows, whose fault is that, okay? I mean, look, you can martyr yourself if you want to, but there's something known as ducking, which was discovered by humans a very long time ago. So, I mean, you can't blame Boromir for his own. If that was Boromir's arrogance, he got corrupted by the ring. It was his own weak will that got Boromir killed, not Gandalf.
Gandalf could have put the ring into his sack and flew out an eagle. He was worried about his own personal safety, and that's why he had.
Do you really think Sauron couldn't have like zapped him out of the sky with an eye laser, or they wouldn't have? There's nothing in his disposal. The big solution is flight. It was always flight, not to go under the radar. If you just fly, the fucking Wright brothers could have saved all of Middle Earth. I refuse to believe it.
I mean, at the end of the day, sending 2 hobbits into
It's a giant flying
spider's
eyeball.
cave.
Of course, it has laser vision.
Giant spider's cave. The hobbits had to go through. They had to trust the most devious person on Middle Earth trying to get the ring back because they had no other options. He set them up for failure with no plan. Just said, get out
I keep
there.
saying
and
they
do it."
set them up for fail, but they succeeded. They
They did,
succeeded.
despite
They went
Gandalf.
there. It was a high-risk operation, but it was the only operation they could do on a short schedule. And by the way, Gandalf's the only one taking a leadership position here. I don't see any of those tiny fat hobbits going out there saying, you know what, maybe I should be head of HR. You know, maybe we should reform this XYZ. The elves didn't take leadership. They ran away. They were ready to flee the continent and let everybody get genocided. Gandalf, you know, he might not be the best person for the job, but he was the only one with the willingness to take the job, to take the responsibility, to put it on his shoulders, make something up, and then he got it done. Middle Earth got saved, and it's due to the great work of Gandalf the Grey, who got remixed into Gandalf the White.
And all of it got done while he just sat back and let his lackeys do it. instead
Sat
of
back.
doing
Okay,
anything
didn't he
himself.
fall into a giant pit with like a flaming, burning monster? I don't know what it's called.
Balrog.
Some Democrat or whatever. He falls into the hole with this burning monster, and he's willing to risk his life. He goes through this transformative process. He takes some LSD, some shrooms, and he wakes up and he's like, I've seen some stuff, man. I've seen some stuff. And he's now a better assistant to the team. And he's the one who power maxes the most. Nobody gets as powerful as he does for the late game.
I would compare Gandalf more to a CEO telling his lackeys, his wage slaves, to go out and do the hard work for him, and then he moved on to the next thing. He went and palled
A
around with his
CEO
buddy
that charges
Sauron.
the office shooter
Sauron.
and fights the demon that's about to kill them all. If a CEO charges an office shooter, I'm going to give him credit.
He went to his buddy
How's your night,
Sauron's
good?
house and hung out
Good to
with
see
him.
you. Welcome.
Wow.
And what happened? What was the end goal with Saruman? He was doing his best to make a coalition so it wouldn't just fall on the hobbits, and now you're blaming him for it.
That was awesome. That was everything I wished for. This was great.
Okay, since
hey,
I know
Emmett,
you
what's up, my
assigned
man?
Dylan as one of the judges, I would like to take his place for judging this round.
Well, I think we were letting Confluence judge, and we have Cleaner as a judge, and where's my third judge?
He was going to be Dylan, and then Kel was going to debate for.
Yeah.
tonight.
No, it's Confluence. Confluence was.
Yeah,
Gonna be.
Confluence and Cleaner, and then the third one was supposed to be Dylan, I think.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to take Dylan's spot for that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Kel, Kel, what did you think? Who won this one?
I wasn't watching this one. Sorry. I was gonna cap.
The truth will set you free, I reckon.
GG. I started
All right. Who was watching that can render a verdict? Confluence, give me your view.
Let me open my notes.
Oh boy, we got notes.
I got fucking notes. Okay. So Tyler opened with that Gandalf wasn't good and he had many options to do the job and he picked ill-equipped hobbits. Okay. And I
Your
don't
mic
think-
is fading.
Is it fading? What about now?
There you go. That's way better.
Is that better? Okay, I'll just talk. Sorry, I move around too much. Okay, so Tyler's opening was that even in the best reading, Gandalf wasn't great. And
We can't hear anything. He's muted in the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh, am I?
Talk Studio, rather.
No, I'm sorry. I'm retarded. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There we go.
I had myself muted. Okay. Plot twist, okay. I'm
Bad
sorry about
Verizon
that.
guy.
You guys can hear me now, though.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. Tyler said in his opening that even in the best reading, Gandalf wasn't good, and that seemed to be uncontested. It seemed like he had many resources, and like this is someone I read Lord of the Rings when I was like 10 years old, so like take it with a grain of salt. But okay, Dylan, I don't think did a sufficient job to prove that Gandalf didn't have other options. It seemed like he did have other options, and they were just like they were there, and so he took them. And so he threw them, as Tyler said, he threw them into the fray as wolves with zero training. So I would have to side with Tyler on this one. I think that I agree. The hobbits, I don't think they had sufficient training, and I think that Gandalf, he had many options. He had the eagles, he He had the Wright brothers flight ability. He had all the stuff, and he didn't do it. So I will side with Tyler. I don't think that Gandalf considered the lessers. I think he just was CEO maxing, and I think he just is not a good guy. That's my final verdict.
You don't know the lore.
Okay. So who did you think won? Clearly?
Tyler.
Tyler. Okay. All right. Cleaner?
Yeah, I think overall they were pretty close. I think that Tyler played just a little bit more timid than he normally does. And so Dylan had a more command structured performance. Like it looked like he had more command over the argumentation. As far as point scoring between everything else, they were neck and neck almost the whole time. The only extra point Tyler got was because in his opening he did make mention of Gandalf, and I didn't really hear a good refutation for Dylan to cancel that point out. So, but Dylan had one extra point above Tyler for the command of the flow and structure of the argumentation. So I believe Dylan got this one.
Okay, so wait. Now I need a tiebreaker. So who was paying attention? Emmett, were you paying attention? Castle? Go with
I was
it.
paying attention.
Oh, you were? All right. So, Castle, do you want to go? Or
he's going to go lore on me. I was definitely butchering the lore.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely butchered the lore.
I've read a lot of Tolkien, so I know I did.
Wait, was the fire monster not a Democrat?
The Balrog.
Balrog. The Balrog was 100% Dylan Burns personified.
There is no way that Gandalf has access to the Eagles because the Eagles are not on command by.
I know that.
Not commanded by Gandalf, so that was a mute point in my opinion. It was a bad argument. I know Cleaner's gonna be like, but that's not the way it's supposed to go, but I don't care. So yeah, I really thought that you two did a great job. I really enjoyed your arguments, Dylan. I thought it was a little bit better the way you commanded the ideas, and I think he was relying on false information, specifically with the Eagles, to try to set a point that is pretty much debunked if you know anything about the Middle Earth. So I would say, Dylan, you got this one.
Like I said, dishonest and slimy.
I got saved by a Snopes fact check. Wow.
Well, yeah, like normally we've got one judge that kind of does fact checking and tit for tatting, and then I'll go through the metrics of the point scoring, the command structuring, and whatnot. And the third judge will typically be like who affected the crowd the most, whether or not they call out fallacies, like different things like that. And so we each have a little bit different metric, but pretty much within the same realm of scoring,
Yeah. Yeah, we've kind of lost Anson as a judge on Friday nights. He has his son, so he has responsibilities. So
it was a good debate. I really enjoy both.
I thought it was it was great, but neither one of you made any reference to Jimmy Kimmel.
I mean, Tyler, I really think you could have blown him out of the water by just going like, I mean, Gandalf grabbed these dudes that had no fucking clue what they were doing and was like, because I feel like you should go on an adventure. Fuck y'all, go.
It's gonna be a great adventure, guys. He sold it to him. He sold them
best leadership qualities.
He sold them beachfront property in Arizona, and they bought every bit of it. They bought it.
Poor Sam had to die twice.
Am I staying up or going out?
Yeah, we'll stay up. I don't care. What time is it? We you guys know, dude, we only got like 40 minutes left because I turned into a pumpkin at 11.
I can start judging too if you want.
Yeah, this has been great tonight, though, man. So you guys don't understand, man. Like, we had the whole thing that happened last week, and then with Charlie Kirk, and then all of the people that have just been going on and on and on about it on both sides. It's just so tiring. And just haven't really had any I just haven't had any
normal talk.
Yeah, just fuck around, man. All right, who wants to go next? Now that you understand what you're getting yourself into,
I'll go if you can get me like a not too.
Yeah, great. Can I caveat? If you do pick me, I'm like on if aliens are real level. I really can't go into anything deeper than that. My knowledge on these topics.
That'd be a good debate, Preston.
I mean, yeah,
We're allowed
okay.
to bullshit our way through it, right?
I got you, bro. I got you.
All right.
I'm going to do
All right.
Castle and Kel. And I think this should be the prompt. Was the destruction of Alderaan by the Death Star a justifiable act of war to maintain Imperial order? Dylan's like, damn it, I wanted this one.
in layman's terms,
That's
is
the
the
Captain
use of
Kirk
explosive
show, right?
drones to destroy buildings that civilians may or may not be in a useful tactic of war, or is it a war crime?
Wait. Saying may or may not when you're talking about Alderaan, which absolutely had majority civilians. Like this
Right,
was an
but-
entire planet of people.
Well, but the Empire considered the
entirely
entire
civilians.
planet corrupt. So
Well, that's the argument.
The
they
thing
have,
is,
I
though-
won this one a couple of weeks ago.
I know you did.
No, it looked like the planet had a gun
I
to
just
me.
wanted to make sure the layman's framing was accurate.
Well, also in the layman's framing, you should also be accurate in the fact that it's the government's responsibility to take care of the civilians, and the government entered them into the war. So,
Whoever's arguing the affirmative, you're defending Israel right now. I'm judging you.
Whatever Grid just said sounded like Chinese to me. None of that even registered.
Okay, so I'll take the.
Well,
I don't even know what I'm taking.
I'll take the no affirmative. You basically are defending Israel's tactics.
I will take ancient history for 500, Alex.
Oh my god! All right, say the prompt one more time so I can at least try to come up with.
I mean, I can find another prompt. Give me a second. I got.
I was like, that one's tough. That's an uphill battle right now.
Yeah,
It's an
whatever I
uphill
say.
battle. I think it's like really clear. I mean, all right.
Yes, but if you're not like at all familiar with Star Wars and the underlying politics, then you have no idea. So
Right, I
don't
would just
blame
make
them.
a fool of myself.
Was Palpatine's rise to power a failure of the Galactic Senate's bureaucracy rather than his own cunning?
Yeah, because that's not deeper than the last one.
Like that, like now you're getting into prequel territory. That's evil.
But I mean, all right. So let me word it differently. Was Trump's rise to power a failure
Yeah,
of the Democrat Party?
I will say yes. I will take the affirmative on that one if you're down.
I mean, I would kind of take the.
I mean, you'd actually, to really do it prompt right, you'd have to know the lore. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second.
You guys haven't
I'll
heard
find
the
one where you don't
tragedy
have
of Darth
to-
Plagueis the Wise?
Only once.
Oh man.
He had powers
God,
that some
of
consider
these are just like
unnatural.
some of
Tyler,
these.
I think I know like 3 Star Wars characters at most.
All right, what you guys good with Star Trek?
No.
Jar Jar Binks the best.
What if you had like
Jedi.
one that you named had like a normal ass debate prompt?
A normal ass debate. I don't. First of all, I try not to have debates on asses, personally. But
I mean, that I think there's plenty of debate about donkeys versus mules. You know.
sure, yeah, that's fair. All right. Let me. I have
the best
more. Where's my
Jedi.
fucking- All right, give me a minute. This is interesting. I mean, the thing is that you can apply like what's going on and not have in our world, in our current environment, and not even have to touch the lore or anything.
Did Mufasa fail the Lion Kingdom by letting Scar stay in the high circle of power?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I'll take that one. Let's go.
Everybody's ready to go, man. Everybody's like, "Oh, I like that one." Except
Everyone's seen the Lion King.
I've seen. Yeah, I definitely know the Lion
Yeah,
King.
yeah.
If someone
Actually,
else is like
I
super
did.
passionate about that one,
I went to
then-
see The Lion King in theater with a twin sister.
Yeah,
I
then why
didn't
don't
know
you
for
guys
sure
get that
which one it was, but it didn't matter because
Did you do
they
the
were
popcorn
twins,
trick?
so they were cute.
the popcorn.
Yeah, you cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn and stick it there.
No. No.
Where do you come up with this stuff? Is
That's
that
not
like is that in leftist liberal handbook?
That's from
that
the
you
Man
just-
Show.
Dinner and shit?
That was
That's
very
people-
much
yeah,
The Man Show.
Man
Don't you know who Jimmy Kimmel is?
I actually,
I did.
I'm gonna be
I
honest
did
with
know
you.
who
The
he
only
was.
reason I know who Jimmy Kimmel is because of Adam Carolla. And once Adam Carolla told him to fuck off, I never thought about Jimmy Kimmel ever again. Like I
Who is
just,
funnier, Jimmy Kimmel or Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks.
well, who makes more sense?
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, it's just an accent. That's all. You.
All right. All right.
Xenophobe.
Let me. All right. Hold on. Let me.
Who has a better chance of getting a girl?
Jar Jar Binks. Oh man.
I
let me,
think Sarah Silverman's attractive.
Let's see.
I mean, yeah, as long as she doesn't open her mouth.
Oh. No, that's too much. That's no. No, that's we're too. This is tough. Most influential character throughout the entirety of Star Wars: Palpatine, Vader, Anakin, Luke, or R2-D2.
Like based on the universe, or like from the
R2-D2 is a mass murderer. I don't know if he's all that influential though.
Oh no!
Doesn't have to be positive influence.
That bot is the most influential fucker in the whole Star Wars universe.
He's in every one of them, and he always does like the coolest shit.
Yeah,
he's like
He's
inert for 2 of the movies.
Like C-3PO, go with him. He's the weakest.
If people feel passionate about this topic, I say go ahead and take them.
Yeah.
We're
Feel
on
free
time,
to
you know?
have Star Wars fans take this.
Yeah, just fucking go.
I got a good one. All right.
Okay.
Original Star Trek Kirk versus new reboot movies Kirk. Which one is the stronger captain?
I will gladly take that one.
Okay.
I
don't
can
want
go either
Castle
side
and
with it,
Kell
too.
to be left out. I don't want Castle Kell to be left out.
Fair enough.
You gonna let me do this one?
If they take this one, maybe I can think of something. And
All right. We'll do. All right. So who wants to go opposite?
Income.
Ancom. Oh, by the way, do you cam up?
No, not tonight.
Okay. Normally we require that, but they'll be all right tonight because we're just fucking around anyway.
What are you? What are you so afraid of?
I mean, if you give me 5 minutes, I can cam up. It's just a pain in the ass.
That's all right.
I'm
It's
afraid of Wendy's girl.
we're playing with we're on short time here. All right. So who wants to go against the ANCAP communist guy? He's not really.
Oh
communist.
God! But like, if Fabian were here right now, he would be absolutely fucking raging that you just called me an end cap.
Yeah.
He's home with the flu right now.
He is. He's trying to save himself so he can have a. Well, maybe is he debating tonight or was it tomorrow night that he was going to do the? He's got a debate with I forget who, but it's over on Sarah's. Nobody wants this one with against the comic guy. Nobody.
Cleaner, you don't want this?
Yeah, but he's got me stuck in a judge spot.
I'll take your judge spot.
Yeah.
You're already a judge. You can't double judge.
Me, Confluence, and Kel.
I tell you what, Emmett can be the judge. Dylan can be the other judge. You can be the judge, and we'll do. I'll let Cleaner have some fun. All right, we're gonna kick everybody to the back. You guys go back. Don't get drunk back there. I know you guys. Emmett, you gotta go back to the back.
Get drunk up here.
Right, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And Castle, you go back. Yeah. Confluence. And then who else isn't supposed to be? Oh, you. All right, there we go. Perfect. Are you guys? Define your prompt for me, just so I make sure that I have it.
We're doing the Kirk one.
Yeah.
Well, which is the better Kirk?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which Kirk was a better captain? I think
Which was a better captain? Okay.
Yeah.
Which was what it boiled down to. So
Right,
it's
okay.
between original series 60s Kirk, played by Bill Shatner, and the 2009 Kirk, played by Chris Pine.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, I got it. So
I will gladly flip a coin on this. I think I can argue both sides. So if you have a preference, go ahead. But otherwise, I'm happy to flip a coin.
I don't really. I'll go with the new one just so we don't have to bother with flipping a coin.
Okay.
I'll say I'll even. Would you rather have the affirmative or the refutation side?
Well, I mean, it's not so much affirmative versus refutation. It's, old Kirk versus new Kirk. So if you want to take new Kirk, I'll take old Kirk.
Cool.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Yeah.
All right. Cleaner is going first. Just start talking, and I'll start the clock.
All right. So Chris Pine, the new Kirk, he showed that through all of his actions leading up to him becoming the captain, he is literally going through the actions of earning his place of being the captain. Not just the same stuff that the old Kirk had to do, which they made mention of throughout the movies, but also he wasn't in the old Kirk's position because of a couple of little hiccups in the timeline, so he had to earn his position. Then after he earned his position, he went on and defeated genetic aberrations that were supermen, stood toe-to-toe with the new version of Klingons, which were way more warlike than the old ones, went on and did all these other things that the old Kirk also did on top of that. So I would say that overall, he showed he was a better captain.
Okay, and that was perfectly timed. Just start talking when you're ready.
So the 1960s Kirk, played by Bill Shatner, demonstrated all of the major qualities of a leader. It showed that his ability for diplomacy, and that he was able to solve multiple situations without any violence whatsoever. It showed his ability to commit violence when absolutely necessary, especially as shown when he was forcibly beamed down to a planet to fight a Gorn, and ultimately spared his life, gaining him gaining him the esteem of the super beings that sent him there. He just overall showed all of the main attributes being a captain and being a leader require, whereas the Pine Kirk mostly just relied on his ability to do violence.
And you had 8 seconds left. That was awesome. All right, guys. Just let me know when you're ready.
So I think that I think that you touched on 3 points which are pretty good: diplomacy, violence when necessary, and merciful. But I mean, both captains showed mercy towards opposition that didn't necessarily deserve it. Both captains showed diplomacy through the things that they did throughout the TV series, obviously with the original, and then throughout the movies with the new one. The diplomacy that was really shown in the new one was more with the Romulans. In the first one, when they were going through the gambit with the Romulans, and he was trying to talk them down, and he was able to sway a couple of them. But I mean, that's like, when you're talking about a Romulan, that's really hard to do. You know, that's not. It's not just like
necessarily. I mean, yes, when we're talking about with the Narada, yeah, like there was a lot of easy shit for him to call upon, but he mainly got that knowledge from future Spock, and both future and present Spock were far more instrumental toward getting to that resolution with the Narada than Kirk's skills were. Whereas in the old series, yes, he relied a lot on on Spock and Bones, but it was his own ability to negotiate with these incredible powers. He fought with gods and demons and everything in between, and most of the time he relied on his own wit and his own skill to deal deal with those situations. Yes, he utilized his colleagues in a good way, but ultimately it was him knowing how to use those resources that got them through those problems. I think they backburnered his leadership abilities too much in the new movies and made him more reliant on that backup than he really should have been.
Well, I think if you're going to talk about utilizing resources appropriately, and I'm glad that you brought up the whole Spock mind melding with him and giving him information from the other timeline thing, because that just shows that he had even more information to work with, and so he would necessarily have a better understanding of things moving forward. He would be a better equipped captain. But also, he utilized resources in a little bit better way than what we saw the original Kirk do. When the whole radiation thing was going down and the Enterprise was about to be destroyed, Captain Kirk, knowing that his science officer was better equipped to continue restoring the Enterprise and getting people home than he was, decided that he would go into the core and reset it himself, kicking it back into place. Little different from how the original went, but instead of Spock going in there, and they even understood at the end the duality and the irony of each of them being on the opposite side of the glass from the original timeline. Even though Spock didn't understand the original timeline, Kirk had pre-knowledge from the old Spock. So I mean, it shows that he's willing to sacrifice himself to make sure that the best person will be there in charge to get his crew home, which I think is paramount for any captain.
Yeah, but ultimately, I think he also knew that he would have a way out that Spock didn't. So ultimately, he was choosing not to sacrifice himself instead of to sacrifice a resource. Like, there wasn't as much at stake in that situation as there was in the original, where Spock knew that he would effectively be sacrificing himself. Now, not to get into old Spock versus new Spock, but like Spock had the foresight to dump his brain into McCoy, but like that had nothing to do with Kirk's leadership in this scenario. Kirk understood that his colleagues had to damn it.
I don't think that New Kirk really showed, like, I don't think New Kirk had any idea that the new Spock was going to go and grab the regen blood from the gene mod guy from fucking Kang and put it in him, or Khan or whatever, and put it in him. I don't think he had any pre-knowledge about that. He didn't seem to know that or have any understanding of it when he was laying there against the door dying, saying goodbye to his friend, And so I don't see that. What I see is, though, he did make the sacrifice. The other thing, though, is he does have all that knowledge from the other Spock about all the different races that are out there. So he's going to be better equipped to try and handle these races moving forward. So that's another reason why I think he's a better captain.
I mean, just because he had better information doesn't necessarily mean that he was a better captain. It's about using the information that you have, not necessarily what you do when you have more information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was really good. Go ahead, Tyler.
All right, so that was, whew, man, you guys turned your points back on each other quite a bit. There was a point there where Ancom was talking about Spock did much more. Kirk's leadership skills were diminished. So much more in the new series. Old Kirk relied on Spock, but he did it in ways that he still was able to step up and use his skills of diplomacy and leadership. And then Cleaner turned around and said, like, he had all the resources old Kirk had because of the mind meld. So if anything, he was taking old Kirk and improving on it. There's just kind of like they're saying there's no way he could be inferior because he had all the qualities and some. And then Ancom at the end flipped around one of Cleaner's major points with just because he has better information doesn't necessarily make him a better captain. If anything, he was a worse captain because his leadership qualities were diminished. I thought Cleaner, the point that you had that gave me the win for you was the sacrifice point. Was he didn't tell anyone to do anything that he wouldn't do as his own, and that's what made him a better captain. I think that stood out, and Ancom, his point against it was kind of refuted based on the fact that when Kirk was laying there dying, he wasn't aware that Spock was going to go get the blood or whatever. So I think you had the final point that was refuted, but you guys flipped each other's arguments on each other's heads. That was tough, and if there wasn't that one, I don't know who I would have picked.
Yeah, I will admit, when he got to the sacrifice thing, I'm like, I didn't have a good reputation. I was floundering there. No, that was a really good point. I got to give that to you.
That was a fun one.
Okay, who is my next judge?
I know I was one of them.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead.
You got to unmute and remute when it pulls you back from backstage. This program, like,
Sure. So I was surprised we had such a long debate on Kirk Douglas to begin with. I didn't know he had a space program. Now that I do, I want to say I feel my inner like Teddy Atlas coming on, because it felt like somebody talking about somebody developing the skills in a field, being the first one to do it, and then somebody perfecting it. And that's what I felt like a lot of this debate was, definitely on the early stages when we were talking about the old Kirk versus the new Kirk. And I thought there were some decent points brought up by Ancom when talking about him going out there, being diplomatic, being violent, going out on his own. But I think there also needs to be something given to the fact that he's the first one to meet all these like space races, right? Like somebody brought up the Romulans, which again, I'm not a Star Trek aficionado, but I believe they're descended from the Serbians, and those are really hard to do diplomacy with. So being able to pull that off is tremendously impressive. But again, I have to say, the point about sacrifice, it really was good. And I didn't hear anything counterfired to that. And so while I, in my heart of hearts, is usually like, I like somebody who's a trailblazer than somebody who comes afterwards and starts sharpening the finer points. There was just no good repute to that, and that was.
And I hate the fact that just now I'm remembering at least two different examples where Kirk in the original series went out of his way to sacrifice himself, and I didn't bring that up.
That's a really good point. If you would have pointed out that Kirk was a trailblazer and the one doing it without the model laid out, I think
that was what I was thinking. I mean, I saw you set up all the points for that, but never stated directly. If you would have stated it directly, I probably would give it to you because I'm very sympathetic to that. But I was never familiar. Kirk Douglas almost died so many times anyway.
Okay, and my third judge this time was.
It was gonna be me.
Yeah.
I really like Cleaner, especially at the beginning. I think he did extremely well when he was giving the other attributes that make him a great captain. You went through all of them, and then you actually demonstrated that he used all the other attributes as well. So I really think that you really dominated the whole debate, not only the beginning. Although he did give good examples and he pushed back on your ideas. From the beginning, you were able to dismantle his argument and provide like the sufficient information. Like when he says, "Well, I just remember that he did sacrifice." That was not the point. The point is,
No.
You were saying.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, the point Cleaner was saying is like, hey, he did use all of these other attributes, and this is why I believe that he was like perfect in the trade. It was a good debate from both sides, I really think so, but I did think Cleaner winning.
Fair enough. I will take my L there. Thank you for the debate.
I honestly can't believe that no one brought up how many red shirts Kirk allowed to be killed.
Yeah, I was fucking sweating that one. I was really thinking because it was, man. I mean, there had to have been at least 82, 83 of them that just
like at least one an episode in the 60s. Like the worst. You knew which guy wasn't coming back.
Well, okay. Interestingly, the statistics on that actually showed blue shirts got killed the most, not red shirts.
In the new ones, red shirts were dying fucking left and right, dude.
Oh,
they were
in the
falling
movies,
like flies.
yes.
I was thinking you were going to bring that shit up, and I was like, damn, because that's red shirt's the big thing, you know? I was like, shit, I hope he doesn't say that.
That's a good point. Well, I definitely still have some shit to improve, so.
Yeah.
This was fun. This one was.
Oh,
yeah. That was a good
If
one.
if you need to strike me from the panel, I understand.
You can hang out, and if we get back to you, we'll get back to you. If not, normally the way this works is we start out with more people, and then we whittle it down until we have one left at the end of the night. But it's okay. It's a chill night. Red shirts were the original spoiler. That's funny.
I think red shirts.
That guy's not coming back.
I think red shirts were the original canary for the miners.
Right. Yeah. So, Leth, what is it? Leth or Lethe, or how do you say that? Lethe. Okay, gotcha. I like to say people's names correctly. It's just respectful. So, what were your positions at? What do you? What do you consider yourself? How do you look at things?
I'm your average run-of-the-mill liberal.
Oh, cool. You and Dylan and Castle all in a row?
I wouldn't say he's average. I would say he's actually a little more close in touch with reality than most liberals that will argue on the internet. I watched some of his videos. He's actually a little more based in reality.
He's closer to me than Destiny on the left-wing spectrum, but not quite.
My goodness, I feel insulted.
Not quite as centrist as I am, but closer.
Wait, I thought you were a communist, Tyler.
Yeah, no, I just like regulation.
He just plays one on TV.
Oh,
No, I just like communism.
I was confused. I'm sorry. Yeah. So cleaner. It was really tough in that debate you just had.
I'm sorry to say this. I have to head out. It's like it's 6:49 a.m. where I'm at, and I took a long bus ride to get to Kiev, so I want to make sure I can relax a little bit before I get back
man.
to work.
Yeah, I'm
Appreciate
sorry,
it.
Joe. Hey, at least you got a cool debate in, and it was cool to hang out with you, man. I'm glad you were here.
It
Nice
was
to meet you,
hanging out with
Dylan.
you guys
Good
too.
seeing
and I
you again,
hope,
Dylan.
You all have a good weekend, okay? Don't work too hard, and spend some nice time with your family.
Well, I'm
Stay safe.
gonna play you really hard this weekend. Is what I'm gonna do. So.
Stay safe. Have a good one.
Yeah, stay safe, buddy.
Bye.
Yeah. See you, man. And then there was Les.
I will head out as well. I came here. My job is done.
I see.
You came here to hand me my fucking only
Grid's
L
about
on
to
this.
turn into a pumpkin anyway.
Good man.
All
Good
right,
man.
you have to. You're gonna have to send me the why. That.
Oh, you wanna? I will. Oh, okay. I will. I will do it.
Send that to me because I have no fucking clue what you guys are, or what the deal is there. But that's cool. Yeah, I mean we're gonna do it.
I have to.
I need
just
to
have
get
to finish
Lethe
your.
and Cassell and Confluence to debate, and then we've got everybody's had a debate tonight, and they'll have a great time. So that'll be great. It'll be cool.
I have to finish the short. I already finished the video, so I came here once the video was rendering. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be done, but I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you. Sure.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll we need to talk, man, for sure. Yeah, and the stuff you put out is awesome. It's great.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for finger cramps.
I don't have his walk on, walk off song keyed up, but it's in spirit. It's in spirit.
I'll be seeing you. Have a good one.
All right. See you, Emmett. Thanks for coming on, man.
So I wanted to comment on that debate you did, Cleaner, because you had a really tough position because in the chronology, the new Kirk is the old Kirk, except for the fact that he was raised without a father. So he's basically the feminist loser modern male version of Kirk, who's slightly less masculine and kind of emotionally dysregulated because he didn't have a man around growing up, right? And so I would have just attacked you on the grounds of that, or and another thing that y'all didn't really hit on was the fact that hitting on the actual actors, right? Because William Shatner sucks as an actor, right? His only methodology is pausing for absolutely no reason in the middle of his sentences, right? And so you could have just said, look, Chris Pine's an actual actor. Kirk was kind of a joke, right? I mean, you could have gone down that route. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff y'all could have done. But anyway, That was super
Yeah.
exciting. I was very excited about that debate.
Yeah, I liked it a
Yeah,
lot.
I would have countered the Shatner position by saying he's an actor who actually got worse over time. He was worse in the movies than he was in the original series.
I was actually kind of hoping he did bring up the mom and the dad not being around and all that, and trying to play it off as like this.
No, because I'm not a
was-
sexist piece of shit.
Well, the thing is, though, you never know. I mean, in an argument,
We
you
don't
never
know that.
But I had a really good reputation for that one. It's like the Newkirk shows the ultimate thing that men are taught to do for the people they love and care about, which is to sacrifice for them. And he did that a couple of times throughout the series. Once completely laying his own life down for his best of friends, who he knew would be able to make sure that his crew, his family, got home. But then also earlier, I think it was in the next one, when he was on the transport fighting and he almost got blown the fuck away. Like, he went there as opposed to letting somebody else go there so that they wouldn't be put in harm's way. And it was like, I mean, so I think that's a manly thing to do, to put yourself in that position rather than somebody else that you care about. I think that's a manly thing to do. So the feminist side wouldn't really,
So you're making the argument that men are supposed to sacrifice for everybody. That's a super feminist
not for
argument.
everybody.
You're like, oh, it's the man.
Not for everybody. Not for everybody. Only for the people they care about. I specifically said for the people they care about.
Commander, you should. Yeah, I mean, if it's the captain goes down with the ship, Anson. Come on, that's
one thing that Newkirk and Oldkirk definitely had in common is they both got to fuck a whole lot.
Yeah, no shit.
True. I'll give you that.
Neither one of you went degen either. There was so much room. So we can have that debate. We can have that prompt again because there's enough room there. There's enough meat left on the bone. But let's talk. Let's see. On the one hand, I'm tempted to do Castle versus Lethe for some left-on-left violence. That would be fun. But then I got Confluence down there with all of the confidence of a Confluence. And he and Lethe look like they just need to go at each other. I'm just not sure what on. And we made time, because are you guys sci-fi guys?
I'm not, but can I suggest a topic to?
You may suggest a topic, sir.
Okay, so this is like the one topic I know about. Okay, so bioessentialism in gaming. Okay, so like in D&D and RPGs, goblins are treated in a ratio essentialist way. Right? Yeah. They're treated as racial inferior, and I think that has outward consequences.
Right.
In
Yeah.
normal
Gnomes
life.
have superior. Gnomes have the superior racials, even though they're tiny little creatures. Right. Like why is that? Why is that a thing?
Yeah. So
what? You're going World. Now we're going World of Warcraft here, baby. What's up?
We can go in all directions.
But like when it comes to mating, I don't think gnomes really have the big end of the stick there.
Well, probably not.
No,
I mean,
gnomes started as
Gnomes
fucking
versus goblins.
listen,
They got the same.
Gnomes started as fucking machines and were given the curse of flesh by the old gods, guys. Don't you try my WoW knowledge.
I'll need to stop.
Oh man.
Lethe, what do you think?
I'm about that.
Bioessentialism in gaming?
I'm about
Wait,
it. Let's go.
I just want to respond to something Tyler said. They started as fucking machines. They ended fucking machines.
I knew it.
That's good.
I
That's
knew
good.
that was. I knew that it was because nobody can resist that setup.
That's
All right,
good.
I'm gonna stick all you guys in the back. We're gonna have some fun. This is gonna be a good one for tonight. It's gonna be great. And we had somebody else join right as I'm putting everybody in the back. So that's gonna be good. Castle, you go to the back. Confluence, you stay. Lethe, you stay. That nerd goes. And there we go. All right. I get to call everybody nerds. It's really great because it's Nerd Wars. All right. Can we clearly define the prompt so that you guys don't talk past each other?
What about bioessentialism in gaming is harmful? Or race realism in gaming is harmful?
Yeah, I was
Whatever.
basically going to say it's definitely harmful, and I would say that it is.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. That means we're on the same side. Okay, I'll argue against you. That's fine. Okay. I'll
I
take
mean,
the.
I can try
I'll
to take the
other
other end of
side.
it, but it's
Yeah, I'll
against
take
my
the other
liberal
side.
values.
Yeah.
Right. He can't.
Take
He
the other
can't use
side.
his victim blaming skills if he takes the other side. So, all right, all right, guys. I'm going to give you each 1 minute. Who has the affirmative here? Because I'm not sure.
That guy does if he wants to go
Okay.
against me.
All right, Lethe, I'll give you a minute to think about your opening, and then when you're ready, just start speaking, and I'll start the clock.
We're good to go.
Okay.
So all the beings in these universes are the favored and usually the fairer skin. So especially when you look at the characters like the Drow, who are relegated to the Underdark and viewed as horrible all the way around with their Queen Varank all by themselves. Same thing goes with the goblins. This is a systemic problem because they're not allowed or afforded any of the abilities that any of the characters or the races that are viewed as good or blessed by whatever god they think is better. So they're going to demonize these other races and remove opportunities from them, disallowing them to be able to be productive in the realms.
Okay, got 20 seconds left. That's awesome. All right, whenever you're ready, Confluence.
Okay, I think certain beings in a fantasy universe are going to be portrayed as cartoonishly evil, and I don't think that has any repercussions on real life at all. I think we all know that in an RPG universe, it's not connected to any real life race or any type of person. So I think when we have like drows being evil, that is purely in a fantasy setting that has nothing to do with real life racism. So bioessentialism in gaming, I think, is perfectly fine because they are by definition subhuman, whereas in the racial sphere, races are not subhuman. So I think it's totally fine in the gaming world to have things that are cartoonishly evil because that gives you a foil to fight against. In real life, it's not okay because, again, we are all the human species. So there is a big dichotomy between those two things.
You want to make
What? So do we go
Awesome.
back and
All
forth
right.
now?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me set this 5 minutes on the clock, and one of you guys just start speaking, and I'll start it.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
In understanding that people tend to work from what they understand in their own minds, you would understand that people are going to put different stereotypes onto these fantasy races. So, like, especially with the orcs in what was it, the Lord of the Rings, people view them as black people for the most part. Same thing when you get down to gnomes, they view them as Jewish people.
But
So we're going to do
no.
this.
Okay. But do you actually think that? Like, I've heard this before, but do you actually think anyone sees like orcs and thinks of black people? Because as a white Caucasian man myself, I have never thought that in my life. That to me is absurd. To me is completely relegated to a fantasy setting, and I would never apply it to real life. Do you feel that it would be applied to real life?
It absolutely is, and that's very progressive of you not to think so. For people that have these views to begin with and want to look at certain races as being inferior, to actually have them be inferior in the world that you're playing in and be able to treat them as such is a little interesting.
Okay, I guess. Well, okay, I guess the difference I would say is that like you have like interracial creation, right? In real life, right? We're all a part of the human species. Any race can mate with another race and create interracial offspring, right? But in the fantasy realm, it depends on like what race you are and if you can create that. So there's different. The races are like not the same. They're not conjugate with human races, and I don't see how you can make that argument. They're so differentiated that I don't see how they would be the same species even.
Oh, they're not treated as the same species because if you look at the half elves, they get treated like trash compared to the high elves.
Right.
So,
Well, then how is that tangent to bioessentialism? Because if they're a different species, that's like us looking at like a horse or like a donkey or like a cat. I mean, we should still show compassion, but that's not the same. That's not the same as like racism in the real world, right? Because we're all in the real world, we're all the same species. In the fantasy world, we're not.
and you're compelled, even within this fantasy world and amongst ourselves, to treat them as such. So you're not going to give the same prices at the shop to a race that you feel is inferior or that you don't trust. You're not going to want to do business with.
But it's not a race. I think there's a semantic overload with the term race, because when we use the term race, we mean like Asian, indigenous, white person. But when we use this in a fantasy setting, we mean like high elf or drow or a goblin. Like they're not the same thing. So I would say there's no harm done because we're not talking on the same level when we're talking about like race in real life versus like species in a fantasy setting.
So, like, for goblins, they're just treated as raging maniacs, and I wouldn't say there's like a particular racial archetype that anybody puts toward that. But I would say orcs definitely get the bad end of the stick, and drow is another one that's particularly bad. So, like in the instance of like a character like Drizzt, he's already going to be treated poorly, and he's viewed as basically an unfavored race. And I think we look at this in our own interpersonal, because like what informs these worlds but the way we think in real life.
Right, but again, I feel like there's semantic overload because like, do we mean race in the same way that we mean race as like you and me talking right now? Do we mean like the human race? Again, in a fantasy setting, we're talking about like people of like absolute different species levels. So like, can you not have, again, for the purpose of a narrative storytelling, can you not have a race or a species that's like inherently evil? Does that not give kind of like, but do we have to add, I guess, like postmodern dialectics into everything, into gaming culture, into everything? Does it really harm people in real life? If you and me are actually playing a game, does it actually harm people to have like the drows be evil? Does that actually cause physical harm?
I think ultimately, if more people played and had those thoughts, yes, it absolutely would, because it would be pretty much a 1-to-1 when it comes down to races or ethnicities. Like it just is what it is. People don't view them as outside of any race. Like as long as they speak English and they can interact with each other, they don't really view them as differentiated in this way.
But then wouldn't you think that the average like D&D player would be statistically more racist than the average non-D&D player? Because the people who play D&D agree with this bioessentialism, because that's like that's since the creators made the whole dungeon manual, since they did everything right, it's embedded into the system. So wouldn't you expect to see a differentiation between the people who play D&D and the people who don't play D&D? But I would argue you don't see that.
Do you see
Yeah, I would definitely need to see some studies on how racist D&D players tend to be on average. I have no idea.
Me neither, brother.
Wow.
See,
That
I
was-
was
that was on
thinking
an
at the very end there, like I've met some
entire
really
plane.
fucking racist D&D players.
I've met some racist non-D&D players though. Counterpoint.
This man.
Wait, what? What about counterpoint?
Just said Connor's racist.
I said I've met people who don't play D&D who are very racist.
I think he
as well.
meant counterpoint, literally like counterpoint.
Yeah, literally.
Oh,
not-
I thought
not
he
the
called
person,
counterpoint.
not the
Yeah.
human counterpoint. Yeah.
Wow, is there like a hidden meaning there that you
counterpoint.
come to that assumption? I don't
Crap.
know. All right, let's get to the judges. Cleaner, start with you.
Yeah, I thought this was actually pretty good. It was pretty close for the most part, except when they started meandering between race theory versus species theory, and I think really the way that a lot of people try and frame, or at least a lot of people in social sphere try to frame race, it is almost as if they're saying people are of different species. So I think they're pretty close to the same thing when you're moving them over to a video game. But I do like the fact that Leafy pointed out that there are distinct differences with the races, and within that, it's shown in the game, and he doesn't think that that's an appropriate thing. Now, whether or not I agree with him saying it's appropriate or not, totally different story. But the fact that he pointed out, look, this race pairs to that one, this race pairs to that one, this race pairs to that one, so it does seem to be like they are showing this form of what's in reality in the game, and that kind of negated Confluence Point, where he was the 2 or 3 minute explanation of reality versus fiction. And I thought that was a really strong way to do that. That's something a lot of people don't do whenever they approach an argument like this, like bring general understanding, which could get you called on a fallacy, because it is a fallacy to use general understanding. However, to use it in a factual way that you can see represented in a game versus on reality. And so I thought that was a really masterful way to approach that attack. I gave it to Lethe, and it was by 1 point. It was 9 on Confluence and 10 on Lethe. Good job, guys. That was fun.
Thank you.
All right, Tyler.
I was a little less kind to Confluence on this one. So your argument started out, and you kind of started out with a really strong intro, and then you basically went into his territory where he wanted the argument to be, and he kept you there for 3.5 minutes. You didn't get back to your argument until toward the end of the debate, and you just started laying down the groundwork where he was already had his groundwork down, was giving examples, as Cleaner said, and relating directly to one, showing you the parallel. So the half-race elves thing was like, oh damn, he got you there. And on top of that, you didn't give any examples. Like, if you would have come in there and been like, look, in a lot of these, like, if you look at the history of, we can stick with World of Warcraft, I go back to Lord of the Rings. The orcs were created by an evil entity that meant to do evil, and they were set to do evil. Like, they are the embodiment of evil. They're not supposed to be anything that you parallel to reality, and you need to give those kind of, and you could have used WoW, or you could have used whatever the hell you wanted, but these things were created to be a vessel of evil. It's not the same thing. And even also brought up, like, in a lot of these games and whatnot, humans are generally together. Their race doesn't, like, their race, the way we use it in real life, doesn't matter at all. They're all just humans. So if anything, there's more racial harmony between what we consider race, and that is already so far past the lore is just accepted that, like, there's not, you know, you don't see racism against black or white people in fantasy. They're all one group against the orcs. And it shows you could have gone and undercut him several ways, and instead you got bogged down in his argument. He kept you there. I had him up on you like 3 or 4 points. You got to treat it like with attacks. You got to treat it like box and stick and move, stick and move.
And Anson.
Yeah, so this was actually super tough for me because I had no idea what the topic was at the start. And luckily neither one of you made any sense during the debate, and I still don't know what the hell you were talking about. So I judged it based solely on what I thought was the crux of the argument around the thing that I don't understand, which is Confluence was saying that video games are not reality. And from my perspective, the only thing that Lethe had to say that to combat that is it is what it is, right? So Lethe, your argument sucked. I have no idea what you were arguing, but it sucked. And Confluence, you win. But I did that, and I scored you both 5 points each. And this is all qualitative because if I don't understand what you're debating, then you've done a really bad job of getting your message across for anyone to understand what the hell is going on and supporting a worldview. So y'all both sucked. But Confluence, you won.
I really wanted to get into Chang and community doing blackface as a drought.
What's interesting? So I guess what's interesting to me on this is not one time, Confluence, did you just simply say, but diversity is the biggest part of it. Like, you have to have these differences, or otherwise it's just all the same character, right? And I also really was shocked that you didn't take it kind of into the realm of, well, even though, you know, the in depending on which specific game you're talking about, you know, if you're talking about D&D, the orcs were not created; they were corrupted, but they were not created. You know, you have to get into World of Warcraft, where they were created by an evil entity, or
they drink demon blood as well.
Yeah. I mean, and so you have to. I mean, you didn't get into like any of that, and the other thing is that I'm not really sure that we should equate green people to you know, like, you know, which I think most orcs are typically equated to be green or ochre colored. So it was weird a little bit. Both of your arguments were really weird because you seem to zone in on this thing that was very highly specific for no real good reason.
I don't have the lore to back anything I say up. I just.
Oh, I got. All right. I got you. All right, yeah. I was like, what? Where? What? Wait, what? They weren't created in World of Warcraft. What were they in World of Warcraft? Were they corrupted from another race, or were they?
No, they just evolved from another race called the Draenei.
I got you. Okay.
Never even heard of that, Tyler.
Oh, I go way in, dog. Another race that was the what the fuck were they called?
And really, what you should have been talking
Lords.
about with the racials is how does it make sense that a gnome, and specifically a female gnome, is a more powerful character than a human wizard, right? Or a human fighter, or whatever, whatever. I mean, it just how does that why is that a thing? Like, why is it more beneficial to
Is that
play
a thing?
Yeah. I think
Gnomes have racial advantages, but they also have racial detriments that humans don't have. So
sure,
like,
there we go.
It's entirely dependent on how you craft your character.
Yeah,
and
sounds racist to me.
Well, yeah, but see, here's one point to that though. A gnomish rogue way more powerful than a human rogue, but a gnomish rogue could really only stab someone up to, like, I don't know, the thigh, whereas a human rogue could quite easily hit the spine up near the head.
Cleaner, what about a gnomish?
You
What
don't
about a
think
gnomish
gnomes know how to
wizard?
jump? Are you kidding
the
me?
end of the day-
You got
Yeah,
the square cube law. I mean,
Nah.
those fuckers can jump.
At the end of
I
the
mean,
day,
I just-
humans
it
are
was
always the
just-
best in World of Warcraft because they have a built-in PvP trinket. We're done.
I mean, it was just a very. This was such a weird discussion to have. A Confluence. I mean, you did yourself in.
Look, I don't
You
know
know.
the lore, Grid. Okay,
I know. Which was why it was so weird that you picked it as a topic. I'm like, why is he doing this?
Didn't even know what
Was
we
I
were
the only
arguing
one
about.
that felt that way? Was I the only one that was like, why is Confluence arguing this? Because you weren't arguing any, like.
I didn't
I
want to
can
go
tell
into the
Leafy
lore.
Leafy's been around some nerds.
The other stuff.
That man
right?
has been around some nerds. He's talking about the drow. Now the drow were interestingly enough, in some lore, the drow are white, pale, pasty ass creatures. In other lore, they're black as night. So
Guys
I
are
mean,
too into the weeds for me. I feel like this was unfair. Okay.
yeah, well, you picked it.
From a biological
I'm,
perspective,
like-
it actually makes more sense for drow to be
didn't
like pasty
specify a
white
game. I
because
said
they
bio
get no
principles
sunlight
in
in the underdark.
gaming.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Specify
Yeah.
any game. Okay, I just
Well,
want to be
I,
clear on that.
but
dead
I
ass, I,
thought-
had no idea what we were arguing about until I got his opening. I'm like, oh, he's not talking about in the game world. He's talking about in real life. Let me switch up
Exactly.
my argument.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean
Yeah.
any specific game. Okay, I don't know any lore. Okay, forget everything you heard.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was very confused. Like, why did he pick this? This is not. It's not good. But
Nerd
anyway,
night, man. You could pick anything sci-fi, anything.
I know
I
nothing.
Nerd
Cleaner,
night.
I don't know anything sci-fi. Okay, I did my best. Okay.
Have you ever watched an anime?
Confluence. When
I
he
watched
said,
I watched Demon Slayer. Does that count as sci-fi? I should have gone with Demon
Like, I
Slayer.
mean, if-
should've gone with
I would argue with you on
Demon
Demon
Slayer
Slayer.
count.
when he said that he thinks that orcs represent black people, you should have called him a racist.
I don't know enough, Tyler. I just don't.
I think
you just
college
accepted
guy,
what he
okay?
said. Fact. That was so infuriating. He's like, the drow are black and so are the orcs, and I'm like, no, they weren't. What are you talking about?
I don't know that. I don't.
Okay, the orcs in Lord of the Rings were a lot darker, so the Uruk-hai were kind of black people in Tolkien's.
Well,
No.
when you get into
No,
when you
because-
get into like the
no.
Dragonland stuff, and you get into where the dark elves, the drow there, and when you get into the Weiss and Hickman sphere, they were all pasty as fuck.
So it
right?
sounds like
they were-
reasonable people can disagree on like the races. Am I right? Like.
Well, yeah, no. The
There's no
token
way to
orcs, like
say-
people try
Although-
to say they're black,
Although
but they're not
when
black.
you were going with
No, token orcs aren't black. Token
when you were
orcs
going
are
with the
equivalent of black
species
people,
thing, and
because
Leafy
the
brought up
token orcs-
half elves, I'm like,
the token
y'all
orcs
should have
were
gone with the
chaotic
fucking
evil.
species concepts.
Like
Yeah.
token orcs are chaotic evil. They were not like neutral. And I would
They
say
were
black
corrupted
people,
humans. Were the
black people
They're
in
neutral.
reality are neutral, just like everybody else. We come out neutral, you know.
This Praetor natural
I
null.
mean, that's not what
you
Fox
know,
News says, but
like
I'll agree with that.
Well, fuck Fox News.
What do we got going on? Who?
Hey, Grid, can I ask you something? My husband wants to come on because he's a nerd and he would like to talk nerd stuff with all of you guys because he knows a lot more sci-fi than I do.
Okay.
And he's got a lot more to say than I have, but you know, it's on my channel, so I just wanted to ask if it was okay with you.
Doesn't Castle still need
Everybody can come up tonight. I don't
Compliments,
except
I
for
will
Ryan.
argue with you that Nuzan is the biggest bag fumbler in all of villain
All right.
history.
Well, I'm gonna move the
I
camera.
agree.
and hand over to
Actually,
him.
I agree with that, brother. We're on the same page.
Oh no, again.
Right, the only person that can't come up tonight is Ryan because I don't like.
I just met him last week. Dude seems awesome.
I feel like we should bring Ryan up. Okay. Am I the only one? I don't even know who Ryan is.
You
but
are
I just
the
feel
only
like-
Yeah, I know. Like,
Ryan, aka Radical Coder. I think he's a cool guy, but you know, if Grid doesn't want him on the stream,
How in the world can you think he's a cool guy? Like,
I
he-
like him too. I like
I
him.
mean, I've watched him for a bit. I was just on his panel earlier tonight.
The
and
only
interacted with
reason
him.
that
I
he-
saw no issues with him.
Yeah, the only reason that some people let him on their show is so that they can get paid money to have him kicked off.
Well, he's on the Raging Tomato.
Grid, do it. Get paid
No,
money.
it's
to
other,
get
there are
him
other
kicked
shows
off.
too that do the same thing. And I just, you know, and I really tried, and I was like, you know what, I just don't like this guy. Damn.
How bad is this?
And that
Ryan?
takes a lot because I
Like-
honestly I don't
I
care.
think he's great
I
people.
feel like I need to
but,
know
it's
now.
me.
How bad could he be?
And we'll go find out. He's over on the Tomato now.
He's a really good guy. He gets confused sometimes about whether or not he can cuss out your mods. Grid. I mean,
Yeah, that definitely you cannot be
and-
I
confused
mean,
on.
it's easy to confuse that sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
I've almost done it a couple times. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, there's a certain level of decorum that libtards can't meet. So.
Did you see the video where he's just like so nonchalant, like, yeah, I did it. I'm like, wait, okay, like you gotta go, bro. Like,
yeah,
you can't be doing that. Like, I don't care. Maybe in somebody else's house, but in my house, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right, so my handle's Frankie Too Sweet.
Gotcha. Okay, I saw you in the chat earlier.
Yeah. So, as my wife says, I am a giant nerd. I read all the Conan books and comics, the original Conans from 1930s, from Robert E. Howard and Weird Tales. I'm an avid Warhammer fan. Warhammer 40K, as you see behind me, the Black Templars, and I'm also a tremendous Star Wars fan. I'm a Revanist, so I love Darth Revan. I believe he's actually the best of all the Jedi and Sith out there, and I will argue with anybody for that. I'm also Alien vs. Predator fan, and I would like to ask, like, who else knows about Conan?
I know about the '90s cartoon.
The '90s cartoon. Yeah, I remember the '90s cartoon one. That was actually pretty good. It was on Tubi.
He's not
And I
my
was sitting there,
favorite comedian from the
watched it with
90s, but I really like the show where he was on a ship after Hercules and Xena. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to argue about Conan? Conan is kind of. I only read a couple of the Conan books, and it's literally been 40 years.
Oh. Okay, I need to know about Primaris. Are you pro or against Primaris Marines?
Primaris Marines?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of pro with the Primaris Marines because of Commander Dante. And that's the only reason why, because all the other Primaris Marines are like, I don't really care for it. It's only for Commander Dante. And the fact that he just wants to fucking die, but he can't, makes it even better.
He wasn't the Primaris. He was
he wasn't Primaris
before.
until after the siege, after the, I believe was the Siege of Baal, where the Tyranids came in, and he almost died from the Tyranids until Sanguinius showed up and said, "Hey, my son, you're gonna have a nice life. Don't be a pussy little bitch. Go live." He's like, "Fuck, all right, I guess I'll live." And
Yeah,
then
he's dying, and then he gets possessed by Sanguinius and just becomes a badass, and then he realizes that he has to still leave and gets the implants for the Primaries so he can
Yeah.
survive.
So then what's even made it worse was that Gilliman, of all fucking people, was like, "Hey, you're in charge of the other half of the Imperium."
Well, yeah, but I mean, I hate all of the new lore anyway. So if you want, I can debate you on Primaries. I think Primaries are dumb.
I mean, we can on the wholeness of Warhammer if you want to do that, because I'm more of an Imperial instead of the Chaos. The only Chaos like faction I like is the Night Lords. Everybody else like suck.
No, I you know, I'm a.
I think
I'm
you've
an
out
imperialist.
geeked him at that point.
No, I know of these shit, but I don't see a reason why would I want to be Chaos. Like, Chaos sucks.
Yeah, but if you had to choose, one, probably one, Space Marine chapter, Space Marine Legion, for me it would be the Carcharodons. For me, it would be the Carcharodons because Lord Tiberus, he's a Primaris for all intents and purposes. He just doesn't have the title, but for all intents and purposes, he's a fucking Primaris.
Well, they are saying that was a loyalist chapter from the Night Lords.
From the Raven Guard.
Well, the official statement is the Raven Guard, but the unofficial is that they're from the Night Lords.
Well, the similarity between the Night Lords and the Carcharodons are a little bit there because the way they act. So, perfect example was the books, the 3 books here. One book was hold on, I got it right here on my Audible. It's with the Carcharodons and the Night Lords. It's called. Give me one second. Give me one second. Red Tithe. So Red Tithe is literally about a prison planet that basically the Night Lords were heading out to go find a person who was a psyker that the Shadowwraith or the Flayed Father wanted to have demon possessed. And the Carcharodons are heading there for the Red Tithe, which is basically getting troops to fill in their gaps to increase their numbers in the Legion or in their chapter. That was the whole thing about it. And then they met and they clashed. And in a sense, the Carcharodons won. The reason why they won is because of how their battle tactics worked, how they moved, and how proficient they were in their weaponry. And the fact that the Pale Nomad, Teka Harangue, in a sense, defeated the Flayed Father, and then when Baal Shaw, in a sense, also defeated the Prince of Thorns, they're basically collapsing him down into the ground.
I agree with you. I mean, that's my favorite chapter.
So my second favorite chapter out of the Carcharodons will be the Black Templars.
They're okay.
I mean, look, they're okay. There's nothing like that. No, fuck that. Is that we're going crusading? Well, you can't really have that much people. It's Eternal Crusade.
All right, let's. I got to get Castle a debate here because he hasn't debated yet. I don't want him to feel left out.
Grid, you don't have to. I can judge. It seems like we have people who are way more knowledgeable in this. I don't mind judging, but I appreciate it. If you do want me to debate, I can still debate.
I mean, I can debate Star Wars as well. We could go at Star Wars too.
Oh, you have no idea. I am not. I don't even know half the things about Star Wars. So that's why I'm saying you're way better off.
Anything you nerd out, Cassell?
I'm a Lord. I know some Lord of the Rings, but I'm really even seeing the movies.
I'm somewhat on Lord of the Rings, somewhat, but I will contest this: that Robert E. Howard is the father of sword and sorcery. That J.R.R. Tolkien is second to Robert E. Howard. I will contest that, and I will die on that hill. Because we all thought that The Hobbit, was it his first book was The Hobbit, correct?
No, his first book was Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit came later, but it was
Silmarillion.
Okay, but like,
The
okay, but like
Silmarillion,
the first book
No,
was
Silmarillion
written in the
wasn't
30s,
first
correct?
either. That was a history.
Yeah, but hold on, was the first book written in the 40s, correct?
Yes. Fellowship of the Ring was written in the 40s, I believe. That's correct.
All right, so then The Phoenix on a Sword by Robert E. Howard was written in 1932. So then I will contest that Robert E. Howard is the father of sword and sorcery. That everything we have right now, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, fucking The Witcher, all that came from Robert E. Howard, and he was a genius on that.
I would argue that Star Trek is not included there just because it was not based
Lord of
on
the
that
Rings
archetype.
wasn't that like the 5th book he wrote or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think The Hobbit came before that, like by like a decade. I don't
Yeah.
think that was the
No, The Hobbit came after, I thought.
The
I mean, okay,
Silmarillion
okay,
was
but
written
Star Trek is a-
before,
I'm just gonna look up the actual.
and then he had
bibliography.
other books that he had written before those, though.
I mean, because he was writing towards World War II, because I believe George R.R. Tolkien was involved in World War II in some kind of capacity.
I was incorrect. The Hobbit was his first book, written in 37. The Lord of the Rings trilogy was written between 54 and 55.
All right, so I was right. But then The Phoenix on the Sword was the first in 1932, and Robert E. Howard's last book was The Hour of the Dragon, was written in 1936. I think it was about maybe a month or two before he died.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that necessarily makes him the father of sword and sorcery, though.
I would, and the reason why I say that is because
I wouldn't, because Bram Stoker wrote Dracula a long fucking time ago, and there was a whole hell of a lot of sorcery and a whole hell of a lot of fucking swordplay in that.
King Arthur was
he was talking about, he made an actual figure into a vampire. That's what happened. He made an actual figure into a vampire.
Tolkien said that he took inspiration for the characters from people in his life. So all you're saying is that if they take inspiration from real life events, then it's not really a good book. Well, I mean, yeah, all right, then all the Lord of the Rings were shit books too, in your opinion. I mean, by what you're saying.
I wouldn't say they're shit books in my opinion. What I will say is that they're not what everybody says that, or Lord of the Rings fans said that they're the beginners and the first of sword and sorcery. No, I would contend
No,
that.
I don't know that. I mean, maybe some do, but I don't think. I think the biggest thing that's said about Lord of the Rings is that it was one of the first books to create an entirely different world that wasn't a space odyssey or something like that, right?
I mean, I would agree with that.
When we talk about, hold on, when we talk about Lord of the Rings and all of that, it differs from your typical sword and sorcery like King Arthur and the Round Table, or Richard the Lionheart, or any of these other books which predate the 30s by a few hundred years. When we talk about that, it's, we can go back sword and sorcery back to ancient Greece. I mean,
Troy,
yeah, all of it. So
yeah, the epics of Homer could reasonably be
the Iliad, right? Like the Iliad is
Iliad, Odyssey, all that.
I mean, you could take it far beyond that and go back to the Anunnaki, pre 4000 BC, and their representation of the female warrior with 4 arms that chop men's head off. Like, that's sword and sorcery right there.
Well, I mean, we can't give the women we can't give them that win. But
I'm not. That was written by a man.
I guess what I mean by sword and sorcery, is how it affected today's life, how it affected today's, like kind of like pop culture and genre.
Sure, but
we can go all the way back to Mesopotamia and talk about swords.
right, but
Yeah,
the
that's
difference
great.
is that Tolkien was the first one to create a completely different world. Like everything else was set on Earth in like some faraway land, but Tolkien went to Middle Earth. Like he created an entirely different, not just a realm, but an entirely different like planet almost. But it was, it was Earth, but it wasn't Earth, and it's unique and that is why it is unique. That's why people get caught up in it so much, even now. And you can look at other books that follow Raymond Feist. The Magician is a fantastic series. Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time, fantastic series. Robert Jordan is very much like Tolkien, except what it seems like is he's taken more of a Thundar the Barbarian kind of like, this is Earth, but it's Earth in a far distant future, which is broken and gone back to, back into like sword and sorcery type times, right? Like I don't think that. I can't argue because I've never read the books you're talking about, so I can't argue that. But what I can argue is I think that Tolkien was the first one and really the only one that has successfully created such a world that was self-contained in and of itself, and it wasn't like rocket ships going to other planets or any of this other thing, and that's why I think it it spawned the Dragonlance series by Weiss and Hickman, which spawned Dungeons and Dragons, which then led to so much more great sci-fi.
So I was going to ask, when it comes down to world building like that, like, wouldn't you say Wizard of Oz kind of like started that up?
I mean, no, because Wizard of Oz was way after Tolkien, and I would agree.
No, 1900.
Wizard of Oz was late 19th, very early 20th century.
I don't think so. I
No.
19th, early 20th century.
No.
The movie came out before The Lord of the Rings was published.
The Wizard of Oz was written by Frank Baum in 1900. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I said late 19th, early 20th century.
August 25th, 1939. That's what I got the date.
That's the movie.
We're talking the book.
Yeah, we're
the
talking
original
the book.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz was written in 1900.
Yeah.
Published
But that wasn't a completely. Yeah, but that was no more of a different world than Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
King Arthur was written in the 1200s by a Danish monk. Was good.
I mean,
I thought King Arthur originated.
But that's still on Earth. Like that's still on Earth.
Right. But and that's the difference with what happened with what Tolkien did was so unique in and of itself. It was an epic that created in something that we could understand and view in our minds, but wasn't Earth. It wasn't like he was asking us to believe in fucking unicorns. He was saying this is an entirely different place, but it's like here.
And that's what I'm saying. Oz is like it literally was an allegory.
Yeah. Well,
other things. It's a different world.
So
it's still analogous.
It wasn't really an epic though. It was just a self-contained story.
No, it wasn't epic. It was a whole ass series that came back multiple times. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with it. I haven't read. I haven't.
Yeah, the one that most people are familiar with, where Dorothy is swept up by the tornado and gets dumped in Oz. That's just the beginning of a very long epic of stories that went along with it.
Well, that's cool, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would say this too, that the Conan books are actually is kind of like Middle Earth in a sense. Is a Hyborian age, so it's more of like Vanaheim, Cimmeria, Asgard, and go down to Aquilonia, Numidia, Ophir, Shem, and then go down to the Stygia, to the Southern Isles, to the Sea of Iliad. Those are like not, in a sense, it's Earth. But kind of like in a different area, kind of like if like Westeros is in Earth, but it's not Earth, it's Westeros. kind of thing.
Sure.
See, I
got
would
you.
argue that while Heinlein might have, or I'm sorry, Howard, not Heinlein. While Howard may have really created the genre of sword and sorcery, it was Tolkien who perfected it.
Well,
And
maybe,
or at the very
maybe
least,
because
popularized it.
But I don't think he went. I think that Danish monk probably created and really he just expounded on sword and sorcery. I mean, you have the story of Medusa and the Argonauts, and it comes from the Iliad, which was written
by Homer like 3,000 years ago.
So I just out of curiosity, I pulled up the Wikipedia page for the sword and sorcery genre, and it distinguishes sword and sorcery from high fantasy. High fantasy being shit like Arthur and all that, by saying that it focuses on personal battles rather than world-ending matters, which would actually put Lord of the Rings in high fantasy, not sword and sorcery. Because it deals with more world-ending shit than personal.
This is way above what I think about this time of night. To be honest with you, I like this is I feel like I need to like go to bed, wake up, and go to class in the morning and study up.
But could I interject though? What's his name here? Oh, okay. The one with the A, the anarchy sign. My bad, dude. I don't know your.
Ancom. Just call me Ancom.
Okay, Ancom. I would contest though that Conan is high fantasy because of the definition you gave, because it's about individual things. Conan, if you looked at the Hour of the Dragon, the Phoenix on the Sword, even let's see which one, the Queen of the Black Coast, and the Iron Shadows of the Moon. That's all about him. And when it came to the Hour of the Dragon, it was somewhat world-ending because of Zaltatun, but it still was about Conan and regaining the throne of Aquilonia.
Yeah, I'm saying that sword and sorcery is about personal stuff. High fantasy is about world-ending stuff. So because Conan, based on your description, I haven't read it, is more focusing on the stories of Conan himself as opposed to the dangers that the world as a whole face. That sword and sorcery at Lord of the Rings is high fantasy.
Well, I think Lord of the Rings, it kind of depends on the book that you're talking about, because I mean maybe the whole epic you could breach it out 50-50, because half of it was about personal development for the character and the other half would be about what's going on in the world. So I mean
All right,
Like,
I'm not
I would
supposed to come
argue
up here,
you
but I'm
could
going to
say-
give you guys some red flags here. So
All right.
You
Throw some flags on the play.
First of all, Tolkien was concerned
What's up,
not with
Mossman?
creating a new world. He was concerned with creating a new mythos for England, because he saw that King Arthur was patchwork of not only French, which he hated the French, and he hated French. He called it basically what I would call the equivalent of gay romanticism. But basically, he didn't like Guinevere. He didn't like the idea of a lot of the different aspects of things like democracy being thrown in there. He didn't like those kinds of aspects, the Knights of the Round Table. But also because much of King Arthur was Norman kind of inventions, and he wanted to create a mythos that was before Norman invasion, before the Franco-Norman invasion, which is what Lord of the Rings represents, is that pure Anglo-Saxon culture, which is why when people go, oh, why is there no blacks in Middle Earth? Because it's of a cultural of the time. Secondly, you guys can talk about Conan O'Brien all the live long day. Conan the Barbarian. Sorry, my brain's all over the place. But to not talk about Edgar Rice Burroughs with the John Carter series, who did that and Tarzan long before Conan, and he created worlds long before those. Because if you've ever seen, I'm not talking about the Disney movie, which I love. It's not too bad. But John Carter, the idea of a Civil War guy going to a different planet and fighting other aliens. That book came out like in the 1940.
But, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
a pretty good one.
I honestly do like
Hold on,
the.
John, hold on. John Carter's Morris. Let's see what the exact date on that is, because
40s.
I really do like.
I
John
understand. I
Carter's
understand the
series.
Tarzan series too, because the Tarzan series was, he was raised by apes in the fucking jungles of Africa.
Why does it matter when it was made so much as the content of the book?
1912. The Prince of Mars. Yeah, that's John Carter.
Yeah.
It's so 1912.
Yeah,
So-
I still don't
so he did
understand why it matters so much when it was
Well-
made, as far as whether or not the content reflected whether it was sword and sorcery type, or the argument you were making.
Right. But what I was trying to hit at was not anyone on the panel. I was more about Grit, because he had said no one had kind of really.
All right.